And hello, people. This is episode 140 of the Pop Culture Bombcast. This episode features Jay of the Nyrdcast. Jay is a guy that I've met because I coach his daughter in softball, and he's a friend of our, and his girls on our team, and he's one of my great parents. And you always get to, like Missy says, you always get in a little gray area. Do I want them to see behind the curtain about what we're like in regular, everyday life? But he listens to the episode, so he knew what he was getting into. In fact, not only did he know what he was getting into, he jumped right in and made us go long with great conversation. That conversation goes from everything about comic books to some movies to some beer to lots of beer talk. And that beer talk was sponsored by the Beer Sauce Shop, who was gracious enough to donate this six-pack that we did the blind beer review for. And some good beer, some kind of good middle scores, maybe across the board. It was solid. Jay brings his own beer to the table, which is a pretty good beer. So, yeah, we're excited about the episode. And this is the first episode of back-to-back interviews. So today, as I record this, Tom and a friend of his had just left, who is Brian Ray of the Texas Stars play-by-play. The Texas Stars are an NHL AAA affiliate, for lack of a better word. An AHL team, which is the AAA of hockey. So it was kind of interesting to talk some sports. Here, look, I don't know if you've seen the theme, but every time Tom does something, it's hockey related. So, but that's okay. So hopefully the two guys no cup listen to it and they get some good enjoyment out of it, and everybody of that ilk, because it was a good time. But that's not that. That's next week. This week was Jay. And, there's a couple things about this episode. One, Jay recommends at the end of it Deltron 2020, and it's actually Deltron 3030. And that's Del the Funky Homo Sapien and some other like hip-hop icons together. And it's awesome. He pointed it out to me, or told me I should listen to them, and I have. And I did a deep dive on them on thanks to Amazon Music, Prime Music. And then also Dan the Automator was the producer on the Gorillaz, and I couldn't figure out what the connection was. And then I looked it up, and sure enough. So that's it. We're going to play this episode. Again, it's like a 2-hour episode, and then next week you're going to get close to a 2-hour episode. So, and it's going to come early because I'm going to be in Jamaica, not thinking about anything but rum, Red Stripe, and good sun. So, till then, though, you're going to hear this bomb, and the episode's going to start right after. Hey, we are back, and for episode 140, and also once again, you have to have nothing but white chromosomes to be on this episode for like the third week in a row, right?
Why didn't we do 40s tonight?
Oh, we did that once. That was rough.
100 episodes.
Well, let me get through this, and let's explain that for Jay, because he may not have ever heard that. It was way back there. But for we're also, and the reason it's just us guys is the keto diet. My wife, the flop, she did not want the temptation of a blind beer challenge, which, yes, the blind beer review's back. Mm-hmm. And so she said it wouldn't be fun for her watching us drink over. But she's done that before.
She has.
Yeah. It seems like an excuse.
I feel like that's what my wife does every weekend.
Makes an excuse or just bitches at you?
Just watches me drink.
Oh, wow. Weekend?
I'm sure she loves that.
Is that weekend? Have you relegated yourself to just the weekend?
At home.
Okay. So I'm assuming that by the voices you can tell to my left, he's no Bill Nye, but he's our science guy. That's the Bender.
How long did it take you to write that one?
It hit me right off the bat when I was typing it up. It's hard to believe, but I Google synonyms for bland to come up with thanks for Bender's nickname, but that one just hit. And then again, the other cattywampus to me, which would be our silver badger, that would be the Tom.
What's up, party people?
I put here a joke. He's the not last, but certainly the one who takes up the least space. That would be Tom the Silver Badger. That was my joke for you.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah,
well, I think Jay's got me beat here.
Yeah, well, and that said, right across from me would be our good friend Jay, and a podcast host in his own right of the Nyrdcast.
Occasionally, I don't do it very much anymore.
And one time partial. How about part-time podcast host?
Yeah.
Full-time craft beer lover.
Yes.
Big fan of all things comic book, so kind of why he's here. And we're going to get into that a little more here in a bit. But like I mentioned before, the flop is not down here. And I also mentioned before that this marks the first time that we've done, like the original, Beer Sauce Shop presents, thanks to the hosts, or to the sponsors, Andrew the Beer Dude's random 6-pack blind beer review. So
let's try not to trash the beers this time. We probably haven't moved a lot of product.
Christmas was when we really trashed the beers. I'm interested in this one because I threw a curveball in here, and then one that, and because of their blind, it's always funnier when they're blind beer review.
So wait, do you know what these beers are?
Yeah, well, I picked them out with Andrew and I wrapped them.
Okay.
So it's blind for you bastards.
All right.
And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Bender's gone.
He gone.
He gone. So normally we'd play catch up, but my segue here was to just jump right into the beers, but we don't have a Bender, so I don't know. So now we got to stall.
Do you think he did this purposely so I would have to do it?
This is what happens when he brings his family. His family's upstairs. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
At one point, Vera's going to walk in down here. It's going to be like Lou in studio to the nth level. So that's what's going to happen. So before we jump in, then let's go ahead and catch up with you, Thomas.
Well, not a whole lot going on with me. Very happy about the St. Louis Blues' latest signing, Pat Maroon, the local boy, coming home.
Is it a 1 year?
It's a 1 year deal. The rumor is that...
Rumor has it.
Ooh, good one. That he will be signing a contract extension in January. Apparently, if you sign an initial deal, you can't do an extension until after January 1st. So
hockey has weird rules.
Hockey does have weird rules. The Blues are up against the cap, so that's one of the reasons he signed a 1 year deal, only $1.75 million to get the Blues under the cap for 2018-2019.
Well,
but expect a big contract extension as long as he doesn't get hurt and plays up to standard coming in January.
Bender's back, by the way.
Sprint sucks, so I couldn't get my notes to download, so I had to go get on your Wi-Fi.
Huh. All right,
thanks.
Well,
go get a beer.
There went our sponsors.
Turns out,
hey,
I don't know how to spell banana.
We are definitely good. You are going to have to eat that, so get comfortable in that, Jay. And we are going to go ahead and jump right in. Here's what we do on the, if you haven't ever heard it. Oh, by the way, we mentioned it earlier. For episode 40, we did 40-ounce Bud Lights.
Oh, nice.
Which you
and
don't.
we taped them to our hands.
Yeah, we didn't do that. But you don't. You
and we sat in a kiddie pool.
As craft beer guys, you think, no big deal.
Yeah.
But you drink those as quick as you can because you don't want them going warm.
Oh, no.
Got lit.
Hammered.
Yeah.
more than anything but the Christmas episode and the Drunken Quest episode.
Yeah.
That was as drunk as we've gotten.
I feel like I could have gotten drunker on the Drunk Quest episode.
Oh, I feel like the next time we play, we're going to be much more merciless on each other, and we're going to be drunk. Quest.
Maybe bring that tomorrow.
Maybe we should. That said, before we do venture on, you did come in with a bit of a mopey Eeyore vibe to you.
Well, Saturday, it's going to be the podcast on the road as we go to Innsbruck, Missouri. To
Are
my
we podcasting?
I don't think so.
No, there's no way.
We should.
It'd probably be a
I
terrible
think
idea.
we're good.
Get blasted in the podcast.
We do that.
We do that all the time.
That's called a podcast.
Yeah.
But my parents are going to get rid of the lake house, so it'll be kind of a bon voyage and a hello for you, Mr. Brown.
I don't speak French. What's that mean?
Means sayonara.
I don't speak Asian either.
That's all I got.
Konnichiwa.
I think that means hello.
Yeah, I think you're way off with that one. So we're saying bye to the house. Good. So my first visit will be my last.
Arrivederci.
It'll be memorable.
Is it on the market now?
No.
They sell
They're
quick.
smart enough. Sometimes. Depends on how they price it. But, yeah. Have you ever been to Innsbruck, Jay?
I play golf out there.
Yeah, it's a nice little course, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like playing that one. A little cheap, too.
Yeah.
Well, that said, let's get into the beer. Hey, we got the first beer pulled up. And like I said before, thanks to Andrew at the Beer Sauce Shop. He picked these out, provided these for us. But like I said, told Tom while you were upstairs, I do know what they are because...
Damn it, stop doing that.
Well, somebody's got to make these clever little things.
Why doesn't he do it?
Who did that? Was that you?
That was me.
That was
That
you?
was not me.
You did that like a ventriloquist. You didn't skip
I just kept talking while I did it. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Everybody's got talents.
So
Most of mine are useless.
I'm going to go ahead and pull us this first beer. Obviously, you can see that it is it's a Euro size can. It's the tall boy can. So.
And it's pink? It's not pink.
No, it's not pink at all. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You're colorblind.
Spontaneous colorblindness is a new disease.
It's gotta be something,
you get it from a tick.
Something to do with your tick. That's
Is this part of your
Rocky
science segment
Mountain
over
fever.
here?
Yeah.
No.
I think 4 people is the right amount to do this. When we do 3 is when we tend to get a little more wasted.
Yeah.
Also, I tend to bring a lot of high ABV beers. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So here's what we typically do, Jay. If you haven't ever heard us do this, you take your beer. We're going to jump into the segment. The first segment is all about you, so we're going to ask you about yourself.
All right.
And then when we're done, we're going to rate the beer, and then I'm going to unveil what the beer is.
All right.
That way, you get by God, an honest opinion of what the beer is. You're not going to be swayed by the label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cheers.
Cheers. Bottoms up.
Yeah.
Was a good album by Van Halen.
Here. Clink. Oh, there we go.
What is this a song?
Smells like bananas. I haven't tried it yet.
It does not taste like bananas.
No.
All right, so like I mentioned a while ago, Jay here is a big fan of all things comic books. He's a big fan of craft beer. He actually brought us a bonus beer tonight. So this is a buy 6 get 1 free
Wow.
random ass beer tasting.
Is that a baker's?
No,
Half dozen?
I don't think that works that way. I think Matt.
It's a brewer's half dozen. Brewer's half dozen.
We'll go by that. Hashtag brewers half dozen.
All right, well, looks like we know what the episode is going to call this time around.
Man, I'm so good at that.
Okay. You keep telling yourself
Yeah, good for you. So all that said, you do have a podcast that is encroaching on 100 episodes, right?
Correct.
96?
96, yes.
96 is out. I probably listened to the last 3, and then when I first found out you had it, some here or there.
Yeah.
Now, it is called the Nyrdcast, and the first thing I want to ask you is, dude, do you know that's not how you spell nerd?
Yeah. When we created the podcast, it was for not your regular dialogue.
Oh, I like that. Wow, that's clever.
Yeah.
I wish we were clever.
We're not.
I didn't come up with it. One of my former co-hosts did.
So,
Well, former co-host, was there a big split? A schism, if you will?
well, you did have something there because you changed a little bit,
Right.
And then you got control again of the name.
Right. So what originally was the podcast was it was me, my buddy Toner, and my buddy Matt. We'd been
Did you say Toner?
Toner. Tony, we call him Toner.
Oh no, that's
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
His buddy Ink, his buddy
Ink.
Toner.
He installs printers. For
Yeah, it seems to be a print
Yeah,
salesman.
my
the
buddy
only way to go.
Xerox is coming over tonight. Hey! Copy that.
You know, the toner usually goes in Xerox, but I'm just gonna leave it alone though. So
the goal was to start our own like pop culture podcast, and gradually we added 2 more co-hosts. One of them actually had the soundboard, so he was a pretty welcome addition.
he's the Ringo Starr of it. He had the drums, so he's there.
He's got a garage.
Yeah. So with 5 people, it was hard to get together on a regular basis and actually record it. So we kind of got to a point where some people would come, some people wouldn't, and there was a little hostility because certain people had to be there every time, and they wanted to
It's
cancel.
like the guy with the soundboard.
Yeah.
Well.
But he's Toner's brother too, so it's kind of hard just to.
Fucking nepotism.
Yeah, I know.
Get you every time.
Thanksgiving's awkward now.
Yeah. The old the classic, the American classic argument at Thanksgiving, the podcast split.
Yeah.
Isn't that a
So
normal thing?
Toner's got a brother, which is also a machine that makes... You know what? I'm getting way too in-depth with
Let's
my...
just leave that alone.
You
Let's-
lost.
We'll put a
lost.
pin in that. Let's get back to Jay.
So our podcast was a lot like this, where we'd have topics and we'd talk about them and we'd get pretty hammered. But
It's a familiar format.
Which one
Yeah.
of you found Jesus?
two of us knew Jesus.
Yeah.
So
He's a dishwasher down at the Olive Garden.
That's Jesus.
Yeah.
That's Jesus. Missy.
I know him
No,
well.
I'm just kidding.
So eventually, some of the topics that we talked about kind of started encroaching on some of my writing stuff. Like I have a relationship with the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I was
okay.
going to ask you about that too, because you do quite a bit of stuff with, like on your blog, or
Yeah.
well, lack of a better, I don't even think they call them blogs. Is that what the kids call them?
I think they still call him that.
on,
Yeah.
on your
Yeah,
website. We'll
yeah.
just say your website. And I noticed, and you've had some good stuff, and I've known you for almost a year.
Yeah, just
go
about.
close to about a year. And I was like, man, the stuff you're writing about is not what people, and we're big fans of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And I've known some really, but that you've got insider information somehow
Yeah.
here and there on it.
So I didn't want the podcast to infringe on those relationships I built. So I stepped away.
Okay.
I told them, keep going. I'm going to do my own thing. And the Nyrdcast name just sat there for 6 months while I was doing my own stuff.
And what was the other one called? Because I
It's
think
Pop Culture Abstract.
that's right. I can't remember if you have to look for that to actually, if you want to go back into the archives to find them.
I imported it all. So
Oh,
it's
you
all
did.
together
Okay,
now.
it is all
Yeah.
together. I think when you first did it, I couldn't get them both at this. I had to
Yeah.
do them separately. So,
Yeah.
well, good
So-
on you for catching up.
Yeah, and so I renumbered everything. That's why I'm getting close to 100. So, but I still do stuff with Matt and Toner every once in a while, and then I try to get around and do interviews. Like the last one was Center Ice Brewing. It was
Yeah.
Bill McFarland, their brewer.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
I had their beers right after they first opened. Someone up at the beer sauce shop brought about 3 or 4 of their crowlers up there.
Yeah.
So they were solid beers.
All right,
Yeah,
Haven't been there yet.
it's pretty nice. I'm actually headed there tomorrow to brew with Bill on their 15-gallon system.
Oh,
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, yay you. That's a good win. Also, one of the things I gave you a compliment on too. I could tell you did it, but it wasn't a slap in the face. You Skype in sometimes, and I think you do a pretty good job of. And sometimes some podcasts, even some famous podcasts, there's the lag, there's a clear sound difference.
Yeah.
And I just knew it just because I spend a lot of time in these headphones editing this episode. I could hear the difference. And I had asked you, I said, did you Skype in your I was like, what? It's pretty seamless.
Yeah.
So it does a good job.
I spend about 2 or 3 hours editing those ones.
I was going to ask you how much editing goes into it to make that sound good.
Yeah, it takes a lot, but I work from home 3 days a week. Well, 4 days now, but so I can interview people on lunch breaks. And
when he said I work from home, 4 days now, I thought we were about to get 5 days now, considering I'm unemployed.
I'm always from home.
This just took it. Let's drink more. Let's pull out the whiskey. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
So
that's sweet.
So, yeah, and the goal of the podcast originally was we listened to Bill Simmons stuff a lot.
Man, I have a love-hate relationship with Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
When Bill Simmons was on ESPN and he ran Grantland, I enjoyed a good chunk, and this is weird for me.
He's like the George Washington of sports blogging and
blogging for sure,
and blending sports.
And that's another problem too. Bill Simmons is a very entertaining writer, but he is a technically awful writer.
Yeah.
I mean, he truly was a blogger. Now, Simmons and Cowherd both. Here's my problem with them. I was an early adopter on them. I was on those bandwagons quick, and when they got near the end of their ESPN run, and by no means am I a big fan of ESPN. I'm not shining their whatever, polishing their knob. How about that?
Yeah, nice.
But they, as those two clearly were getting big and they were about to move on, something switched. I tried getting on Bill Simmons' new stuff.
Yeah, The Ringer.
And he drives me insane now.
Yeah.
Colin Cowherd drives me insane now. It's like Bill, not as bad as Colin, but it's almost like they both now feel like they're the most important person in the room, regardless of who's in the room with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Back to what you're talking about. Bill Simmons, though, boy, gosh, he's an inflammatory name in sports.
Well, we were listening to, was it Andy Greenberg?
I loved Andy Greenberg.
See, my buddy Matt couldn't stand him. He considered him the biggest hipster ever, and it drove him nuts. And so the point of the podcast was to be the anti-Andy Greenberg.
Okay.
Anti-hipster's not a bad stance to take.
No, it's not at all.
If you feel he's a hipster. I also feel like hipsters. I once wore, on my birthday, took a picture in a flannel shirt, and I had a hat on, and my buddy goes, well, who's the hipster now? I'm like, easy, dude. I'm just dressed a little different for my birthday.
Yeah.
But, so you guys started to be the anti-that.
Yeah.
Did you, I haven't went back all through the early archives, but did you and purposely get away from sports in the beginning and just do pop culture stuff and beer?
Yeah, and I did some of my own mini episodes on the side where I do sports stuff or I'd interview people.
Yeah, and you had a different kind of numbering.
Right.
Like for interviews and stuff like that, you would break it up. So is the 96 a true...
It's everything.
Everything, okay, yeah. Which is way easier.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now, have you interviewed Cardinal players, or...?
The only one I've done is Daniel Ponce de Leon. He's a AAA pitcher. He was up for a couple weeks. I don't think he got in very much. But I talked to him in the offseason. And then I talked to Robbie Rowland. He was a minor leaguer, top down about Springfield. I think he's in the Ranger system now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what do you do more like analytical or opinion or?
A little of both. I do a lot of analytical stuff.
You really break down some of the postseason stuff going into the season. You really, I hesitate to say sabermetric stuff, but you really tried to jump into it deep.
Yeah.
And break it down, which, I don't know, maybe if you were it got closer to the Cardinals, you could call Matheny and say, here's how you run a bullpen.
Oh, I wish I could.
Or you call Mazzelak and say, here's how you hire a manager. Because I love Matheny as a player, but I am the...
Well, so I should go ahead and get... I had a Cardinal topic. Let's talk about it now. What's going on with this whole Bud Norris and Jordan Hicks hazings?
I think it's overblown, actually. I think it's just a veteran coming in and making sure the young guys know what they need to do. And I think a lot of it is the media's blown it down to proportion. And the other thing is he's not the veteran guy that's been around for years. He's a guy that's in on a 1-year deal. And fans are getting upset about it because, A, Matheny's losing control, it seems like. And then, B, it's not Wainwright, Molina, one of these guys you expect to do it.
The triumvirate on the, well, I guess it used to be the triumvirate when you had Holiday on the team, but it's
Right.
now the two-headed monster of Wainwright and Molina who seem to.
Yeah.
By all accounts, I've heard that Molina sometimes, when needs to, can rule with an iron fist, but like he can be that guy. But I gotta tell you what, man, between what you brought up and Brett, explain that real quick for people.
So
that
real
know.
quick, Mark Saxon.
Because I don't know.
So Mark Saxon, he's a new writer, beat writer for the Cardinals through The Athletic. Wrote an article, I guess it came out last night.
Which, by the
yesterday
way, what's your
afternoon.
opinion of the Athletic?
I haven't even subscribed to it
Oh,
yet.
you got to.
Yeah,
That's really
I
good.
know I need to.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, he came out with an article that basically said that Bud Norris has become kind of a godfather, if you will, of the bullpen, and that he's been picking on Jordan Hicks in particular, and he's also kind of the keystone cop for the bullpen and kind of rats out behavior that is unbecoming of being a ball player / Cardinal to Matheny, and Matheny apparently likes him kind of being, for lack of a better word, narc. Now, my problem with the article is, and I agree with you, Jay, it's way overblown. Mark Saxon never really mentions in the article any of the things that Bud Norris has done to Jordan Hicks, which I found kind of
Just that someone
strange.
has said maybe there's some problems going
Yeah,
on.
and he interviewed Jordan Hicks and kind of noted that Jordan Hicks was uncomfortable, but it could have been he was just uncomfortable with the line of questioning.
That's an uncomfortable topic,
Right.
whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
And people are reading into his no comment way too much. Like
Yeah.
the no comment is actually him saying, "I don't want to say anything because I'm going to get in trouble."
Well, or he could just be an old school baseball guy that says, "Hey, I keep everything in the locker room.
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to talk about it. Period." But let's play devil's advocate for Saxon and say that there is something going on.
And I don't think he was
But
being nefarious by writing this article or trying to start.
between that, the problems that might be had with the bullpen, let's talk about the problems on the bench. Matheny and Fowler.
Yeah.
Are they talking? Are they not talking? Or
The reports were they weren't talking, but Matheny said something to him after he hit the grand slam the other night.
well, he hit a grand slam. You
Yeah.
gotta say something. But no, I mean,
but there's been a few other times where they've shown them together at least.
the only thing I will say as a guy that has coached sports, has played sports, that loves sports, the only thing I will say about to discredit the Dexter Fowler story is Dexter Fowler's not in the doghouse because him and Matheny don't get along. Dexter Fowler's in the doghouse is because his average was 150, 125. I mean, I don't give a shit what you're being paid, how great you are as a player, how good a guy you are. You just ain't playing.
Right. Jason Stark, now The Athletic, formerly of ESPN.
I love Jason Stark.
He came out with his midseason awards, and he gave the NL LVP, least valuable player, to Dexter Fowler.
There's not an argument.
Yeah.
No.
That for production from pay, that's it.
Dexter Fowler is on pace to have the lowest batting average for St. Louis Cardinal history with that many at bats, 250 at bats.
A former Cardinal, although he doesn't have this record, but you know who has the lowest amount of RBIs for a full season worth of at bats in the history of baseball? I can give you one clue. In the year he set the record, he also won the World Series with a game-winning RBI.
Edgar Renteria?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Lowest amount of RBIs for a starter that with, 250 at bats
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
And then to have the game-winning RBI, that's how baseball works.
Yeah. He was only 19,
yeah, it
I
is.
believe, right, at the time? Yeah.
Yeah, he was very young, and then he came to the Cardinals and became an all-star, and then he went to a big market and became a turd.
Yeah.
But that happens. Hey, but let's bring it back to you.
Right.
That was a little taste of how much you love the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What else have you talked about on there? Because we've talked about comic books. What else did you get into on there? And
Let's see. Oh, good.
no, and after that, what's the schedule going to be like going forward?
So, let's see. Who have I talked to? I've tried to get some comic people on, but I haven't really had much luck with that. Going just through Twitter, seeing if I can get a writer or an artist on. Mostly what I can find is like the crowdfunding, help me get it started type stuff.
Yeah.
Well, those are cool too. We've reached
Yeah.
out to some of those guys, and when we're done, I'll share you a couple stories that we've got, and because we've got some cool things that have reared their head again. But
Yeah.
we'll get into
cool.
that.
But yeah, it's mostly sports stuff. I talk to other bloggers about different teams sometimes. When all the Giancarlo Stanton stuff was going on, I talked to Craig Mish in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my schedule right now, I'm kind of on hold because I don't have any place to record in my house.
Until you redo it.
Yeah, we gotta finish the basement. But
You're welcome to use our studio anytime you need
yeah,
it.
I'll just show up.
For a small fee. For a small fee.
Yeah.
But hopefully soon I can at least get on and do some stuff, maybe at lunch and get something out here and there.
And you recently moved in the last few months, like 6 weeks, right? 6, 7
something
weeks,
like that. Yeah.
So you're on hold because of the move, which is an understandable on hold.
Yeah.
So when you get back, do you feel like you'll get back to a semi-regular?
I want to do weekly.
Yeah.
And
that's tough. Here's what you got to do. First off, you got to find a couple of good co-hosts.
Yeah.
I'm still looking.
Sometimes right themselves.
But no, so you talked about 5 people. One of the reasons we brought Tom in the very beginning, and then later my wife, we used to never really be a co-host. We called the episodes when she was on Wedded Bliss because it was kind of catchy. But it was always me and Bender. And then Tom came on, and Tom came on with
he's a natural talker.
No agenda, no agenda on the episode he came on. I believe we talked. I don't know what we talked about, but I
needed help carrying this thing.
I asked him to do an interview with me, and then after that, I was like, "You want to come on and do this episode up at Shamrocks?" And it was that one that really because Kyle got too busy to come on, so we just shot the shit about Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
and that's why I said you might as well just consider yourself a host.
Yeah,
and then we did Missy, and the good thing about that is I'm sure you could tell is we have kids, which will play into my topic on the next one is, and
more Fortnite talk.
We've got stuff going on. It's 4 people, 3 people sometimes is a pain.
Yeah.
We always it seems like we roll good for like 3 months. Then we'll have a month where we just can't do it, and that's coming up for Bender.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out here soon for a while.
In fact, I'm going to throw this on to you now. We're going to do, and we'll talk about it in our last beer, the 6-pack, but we're going to do 2000 next.
Right.
But after that, we're going to let Bender pick it for the next month because there's a good chance he might not be in.
Yeah.
So I was going to see if you wanted to come and do that episode with me that year in comics.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. Yeah.
Well,
don't be too good because
It's a little jealous.
I
know from experience.
I'll lower my game.
So any other thing you feel like you need to tell us before we rate this beer and jump to our next topic? Because I'll get to your topic here in a little bit. I asked you to bring a topic, but anything about you, about the podcast, about what you're doing, anything we're not that famous, so I feel like I get really greasy when I ask this. Anything to plug, so to speak?
No, I mean, just my website, Nyrdcast.com. It's
Nyrd.
Yep. I haven't really done a whole lot with it just because...
And that's at Nyrdcast on Twitter.
Right.
And Instagram?
Instagram, and then we have a Facebook page, too, so just search it.
Yeah, at Nyrdcast. Go to Nyrdcast.com and find them all.
Yeah, they're all right there.
And... do it. Get to know him and tweet him and rally him. Try to tell him to get to do more stuff. What's cool? What I like about your Cardinal connection thing and how much you love the Cardinals is we're building a network of people that for each team we love.
Oh yeah,
we got the 2 guys no cup with the Blues who are great guys. If you're not listening to that, you should check those guys. And then we've got the Cardinals. Now I guess we need a St. Louis FC person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But let's start one, and that could be like the only podcast they have.
But here's what we're going to do right now.
No, they got one.
We're going to start with Bender, and we're going to go ahead and give this beer the rating and the review.
It's been a while. I drank it fast. I thought it was okay. Not great. Not bad. 2.5.
And you do know we go out of a 6-pack system.
Yep.
We'll go 2.5.
2.5.
It was kind of
That's right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I'm probably 2.5, 3. I got a little coffee taste to it, and I'm not a huge coffee fan.
Okay. Good nose, or good taste buds, because it does have coffee in it.
Yeah, I agree. Everything these guys said. Had a 2.5, tasted some coffee. It tasted more kind of like a beer I'd have maybe in the wintertime and not in the summer.
Can I guess what it is after you're done?
Go ahead. It's by the way, I'm going to say 2.5 too. That's right where I was. It's right in the middle of the road.
Is it the Old Bakery pour over coffee?
Slam dunk on the Bender.
Oof.
It's it's not the pour over. The pour over's good.
Oh, is it?
It's different.
Okay.
It's their coffee series. It is the light roast golden ale.
Okay.
Which is here's how Old Bakery would describe it. It is a 4.7 ABV, 20 IBUs, a golden ale with coffee added. This golden ale contains enough certified organic Caldi's coffee to provide a pleasantly roasty flavor profile and a touch of caffeine. You can enjoy it with eggs Benedict and a veggie quiche, in case you were so inclined.
Veggie quiche, yeah.
I'm going to pick some of that up and crack one open for breakfast this weekend.
That'd be the 2.5. Bender, get beer number 2.
I think the next thing I'm doing is a golden...
I tried an ale. I even used some Irish moss to try to lighten it up and clear it up. It just didn't come out. Oh, that's that one in there. It's not good.
Okay.
I didn't. My theory on why that one's not good is that It was a while between. Maybe I didn't clean good.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. All right, gentlemen. Tom, you got to stall for me while I pour.
I'm gonna guess this one is a Bud Select 55 based on the can.
So, bad news for the English football squad as they went down to Croatia yesterday. Sad times. Guess football is not coming home for the Three Lions here in the 2018 World Cup.
Can you pick Croatia off a map? Honestly,
Great question. No, I cannot.
neither can I.
I was going to root for France just to argue with you, since you were rooting for Croatia.
No, he's rooting for England.
But no,
they're
now
out.
that they're out.
Oh,
Yeah,
are you still going Croatia now?
This is a conversation you and I didn't have. You weren't involved in this. But now that now that both the teams we were rooting for, Belgium and England, is out, which that would have been a fun day on
That
Sunday.
would have been real fun.
I was going to say, when you said you're going to root for Croatia, I said I'm going to pick France so we can argue. And then I thought about it. MMA pioneer and legend Mirko Krokop is from Croatia. He was a Croatian interrogation officer, so I got to root for him.
Croatia only has 1.3 million more people than the St. Louis metropolitan area.
Second smallest country to ever make it.
So
to the
we're
world.
Oh, Uruguay made it in 1950, I think.
so we're
To the-
Croatia
yeah.
fans now.
No, I just watched World Cup. It was on my favorite days at work were World Cup days. I just
Yeah.
put it on my tablet and watched it all day.
Man, I wanted to do that, but I'm new to the job, so I
I
couldn't pull it off.
I'd put my balls out there. This is me. This is
Yeah.
what you're getting.
With my
So
boss right behind me.
I really didn't have interest in World Cup this year because the U.S. wasn't in it.
Oh, you know what?
Such a
I
U.S. thing to say.
I think
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more without them in it
I
because
agree.
I watched everybody
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of just them.
Yeah.
All right, man. Try beer number 2, and I'm going to bring up a topic.
Oh, I got another quick topic on the World Cup. According to a little trivia here. All right, never mind.
All right,
We'll
here
come
we go.
back to it.
I
All
think
right.
I'm feeling a theme out of these beers.
So here's beer number 2. Before we get to that, I just wanted to bring this up. That Sci-Fi Wire used to be one of my favorite apps, Sci-Fi app.
Yeah,
And it went
I remember
defunct. Now they've got the website really up and kicking gear. It's a good place for all things genre, for pop culture and
Is
sci-fi
it?
and comic book.
I see the Twitter still.
Sci-Fi Wire is solid. I suggest checking it out. So I was looking at that this week, seeing what we could talk about, and this is completely out of left field. They had an article, and Bender's part of my reasoning for bringing this up. I know he has an incredible love for Toy Story 3,
So's Tom.
and Tom does as well. Well,
Cry like a bitch.
that's good that you brought it up. We're all dads. We all have, well, with the exception of Tom, we all have daughters. Tom has sons. But they comprised a list of the 11 saddest tear-jerking moments in Pixar history. So I'm going to roll through the list, and I want you guys to tell me, did you cry or did you not? And what I just want to know. So I've got the list,
okay.
and I'm going to start right now. They've got, according to them, and if you have a problem with the ranking, so I want to know that. Number 11, Buzz realizing he's a toy in Toy Story 1 in 1995.
No, I didn't cry.
Yeah,
That.
No.
I didn't either.
I didn't feel like that was sad.
I didn't think it was sad either. That was the one I really had a problem with. I think that's a stretch to get to 11. I think you cut that off and call it a top
I mean,
10.
that's just stop being a dick moment.
All right, so no, but I tell you what, they rebounded themselves here. Jesse's backstory, Toy Story 2.
Oh, like a
1999.
bitch.
I didn't cry, but I could see it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I didn't cry, but yeah.
I did not
it's-
cry either, but that was a...
Was that the only one who cried on that one? Oh, they played that Sarah McLachlan song. And she loves me. Oh,
I'm
God.
crying now that you're singing. And you're also, I mean, there's a lot of movies represented here, but obviously with their crown jewel franchise being Toy Story, there's a lot more of that. So the number 9, Andy handing off his toys to Bonnie in Toy Story 3.
Yes.
2010.
Like a
Yes.
bitch.
I choked
Yes.
up there. I'm not
I don't
gonna lie.
know that I full out cried,
I
but
didn't
I
cry,
bet
but I
a tear
choked
welled
up,
up
yeah.
a little bit.
I was grabbing my shorts at the time, like,
Yeah.
don't cry, don't cry.
Be a man, demolition derby, pro wrestling,
Push her down.
football, hike. Man, it's really dusty in here, guys. Number 8, Eve trying to revive Wall-E's personality after he went kaput.
Nope.
No.
I loved Wall-E.
I
That was a
think
good
it's
movie.
I think it's a good movie, but
I
I
didn't
just,
cry in it.
I didn't cry in it.
Yeah.
Wall-E, I mean, so cute. Both of them are so cute.
Yeah, they are adorable.
Number 7, Joy stuck in the memory dump in Inside Out.
I cried more. I don't want to
Don't ruin it just in case it comes back up.
Does it come? Okay. No, not that one.
I don't think I did.
Not for that one, no.
No, but that's another good man. Pixar is Pixar maybe one of the better Hollywood studios out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 6, Sully says goodbye to Boo in Monsters Inc.
Like
First one.
a bitch.
I'm seeing the theme.
Yeah.
I did not cry, but it was a good moment. That's
I
a
think
great-
if I would, now that I have a daughter, because that one came out, I was a lot younger. I think I was just out of high school. But now that I have kids, I think I would.
Yeah,
now.
don't go back and watch it, dude.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I mean, I've seen it since then, but I know it's coming.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Since I know it's coming, it
Yeah.
hasn't done anything since I had kids.
I'm going to get into what I cry
When
right
she
now.
goes,
that I'm
when she
old.
goes, kitty?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All right, here you go, Bender. I don't know if this is where you were thinking, but this is the part that I kind of welled up in Inside Out. Bing Bong says goodbye.
Oh, God.
That's a tough one.
That was rough.
I mean, that is a dark moment.
Even thinking about it now, my stomach kind of hurts.
Number 4, and this is the only one I have a problem with. Dory begging Marlin to stay in Finding Nemo 2003.
No.
I didn't cry, but it's a good scene.
I hate the Nemo movies, both of them.
You're stupid.
I hate them both.
You're a dumb person.
I did not enjoy either one of them.
You don't like fish. That's your problem.
Man, I do like fish, but they were boring to me.
Nope. I
I
love them.
like the first one. I don't remember anything from the second one.
Oh, the second one to me is just Pixar's biggest swing and miss.
Nah,
No.
get out of here.
Cars 2.
Oh yeah, Cars 2 maybe. I haven't seen Cars 3. So.
Cars 3
that's-
isn't bad.
Cars 2 stupid.
Yeah, Cars
and
2
Cars
for it.
1 is...
Yeah. like
Cars 2,
Cars 3?
Cars 2
Equally
is probably
stupid.
their biggest swing and miss. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. Here's one I have not seen, but I hear great things, so I need to. Mama Coco remembers her father's song in Coco.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Good.
pretty
I
good.
hear that may be one of their most underrated, or not even that.
It's an amazing movie. Mark Bernardin, who does stuff with Kevin Smith, said that was his best
Oh,
movie he saw
okay.
last year.
I need to give it a go.
It's,
Yeah,
it's a...
and it's
Kevin
on-
Smith even said he cried in it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I know. I just
Yeah.
have for now. I got to get it before it's gone.
I think I made my kids watch it because I wanted to watch it.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, so you have a reason to
Yeah.
cry, guys. Watch this.
Yeah.
Here's number 2. This is a big one. This is the one I know Bender loves. Woody and the other toys facing death in Toy Story 3.
I didn't cry there, but
You were
I
on
was,
the edge of your seat.
I was sitting... Yeah, I was on the edge.
It was more exciting, I think, at that point than
Just...
sad.
You
Just-
kind of got the point. They did a good job with it because you really felt like it may be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just their accepting of their fate
That's
and
that's
holding
sad.
hands on the way
That
out.
makes me
I'm like,
want-
ugh.
that makes me want to cry now more than when I watched it.
Real Holocaust vibey there.
Oh, jeez.
And probably, I don't have a problem with this list because this is the one that got me the most out of all Pixar movies, and it's probably the one that every Joey Bag of Donuts that just barely is a fan of animated stuff references. The married life montage from Up.
Yes.
Good one.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you don't have to have kids for that one.
No,
you just
that
have
was,
to at some point dated someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
had
it
real
gets you.
feelings for another human being in here.
So out of 11, I think we had 8 that we said
Yeah.
that somebody. Well, Tom. Oh, he 12 of the 11 he welled up on.
I think
Oh,
it's the... Which one is like the one to you that... I think it's the Bing Bong one for me.
Bing Bong's the darkest.
Yeah.
The
Sad,
toughest for
yeah.
me is when Andy grabs Woody back with his
Yeah.
reaction,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
it's so natural
Yeah.
and instinctual that
Yeah.
that makes it sad.
and then he gets his speech. Oh man, I'm tearing up right now thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Up is the saddest. The beginning Up
Yeah.
is such a what the amazing thing about the Up one is that it's so yin and yang that
Yeah.
beginning
Yeah.
to
I
what
love
the
that
movie
movie.
becomes. Oh, that movie's great.
Yeah, it's
that
good.
dog is awesome.
Well, you had a dog that was basically that
It's the
dog.
exact same dog. They was the exact same dog, squirrel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. So I myself though, these were good. These were very good.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm going to let you guys in behind the curtain. Not only am I a big fan of dance movies,
Yeah, we already
but
know.
the things that make me well up now when we're watching movies is like, oh God, this is. I'm going to
He's
say
gonna cry right now. Look, he's tearing up.
Take a big breath.
I once talked on this podcast about how I pooped my pants drunk coming back from Hop in the City. So I've proven that nothing. I mean, I'm willing to embarrass myself. We were watching the final episode of Jersey Shore last week, and I kind of teared up when Mike the Situation proposed to his girlfriend.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the kind of stuff
the
that does
fuck
it for me.
outta
man.
here.
See, I get in
They're gonna be
the
divorced in like 6 months.
I get in the nerd moments. So like Star Wars when Han Solo died. I teared up. Well, actually, when they showed the Millennium Falcon for the first time.
Tom,
Oh, there you go.
Tom, the second time I watched Rogue One here at home, I kind of got a little sad at the end. I've almost cried. Tom was crying last week when Bender and I were having our umpteenth argument over how good Last Jedi was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Still sucks. But
Hey, speaking of Star Wars,
My wife listened to the episode. She goes, "You're right. That was a boring segment."
speaking of Star Wars and boring, I listened to the audiobook of Rogue One because I think if I had to renumber them, Rogue One's my favorite.
Who does the audio for that? Who does read it?
It's the same guy who does all the Star Wars books. I can't think of it off the.
I'm token British guy.
Yeah,
Rogue
basically
One.
yes. But
Chapter 1.
if you ever wanted to get in the nuances of what engineers email back and forth to one another, they have it in this fucking book.
They do.
It's so much unnecessary detail.
that sounds like we should segue to rating this beer.
Let's rate the beer, and then I got my thing real quick.
But the reason I cry at the situation kind of stuff, it's that stuff. I almost like now that I've got kids and I'm getting older, more than ever, I put myself into that spot and think about it. Like, I used to never do that, but I really jump in with both feet on a sad moment. Rudy fucking makes me cry every goddamn time I watch it.
Wait, what part of Rudy makes you cry?
When his family starts cheering, that end part, and almost when they throw the jerseys down. From that point on, I'm a mess.
All right.
I don't watch Rudy with people around.
Yeah.
I watch Rudy by myself. I drink a bottle of wine, and I watch Rudy,
Oh.
and I call my best friend Hal Pal, and I say, he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm watching Rudy." He goes, "Oh, fuck, man, it's one of those days."
You take a bubble bath too?
Maybe. And I put little Epsom salts because I like it when they
There's a lot.
effervesce.
Hey, whatever,
There's like
man.
3 or 4 good ones. For me, that always gets me is when he finally gets in. He goes, "Dear Mr. Rutabaga, the University of Notre Dame." Oh, thank God!
Yeah, it's tough.
Mine is.
He's so little. He's so little.
Mine's
Who's the world man now?
Mine's Turner and Hooch when the dog gets
Oh, that's
shot.
a tough one, too. When I was a kid, that one
Yeah,
got me.
it still gets me to this day. I'm like, I gotta go
So
to the
there were
bathroom.
2 movies at the same time that were essentially similar premises. It was Turner and Hooch with Tom Hanks and Hooch, and it was K9 with Jim Belushi
And
a dog.
K9.
Yeah, and that dog. And they have an exact same scene, only he's a blubbering mess and the dog's not dead. It
Yeah.
raises up
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
playing. Like, it was like, I feel like that was an afterthought. Like, they made the movie and they were like, Turner and Hooch got 2 weeks earlier release? Fuck, we gotta rewrite this scene.
Yeah. The dog lives.
What movie gets you every time?
Big Fish. It came
Oh,
out.
it was on a few days. Oh,
yeah.
no,
That's a good movie.
I believe that's Tim Burton's masterpiece.
Yeah, that came out about a month or 2 after my dad passed away.
Oh,
and so
that's a
every
suck.
time I see it, it gets me.
Yeah, when he carries him out into the water,
Yeah.
man, I'm donezo.
Yep.
Donezo. That was on a couple days ago. It's been on making its rotation
That's a
through
very
HBO.
solid
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good. It's the reason it's so damn good for Burton. He doesn't go and don't
He
get me
doesn't
wrong.
get too Burton-y.
Yeah, he doesn't Burton it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes a solid movie.
It's still got the dad issues in it, like every other.
Yeah. I mean, that's Tim Burton. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're gonna get.
But that's actually one of the rare movies that's better than the book.
Oh,
really?
really? I didn't. Yeah, I never knew that. Well, I mean, you got the cinematography and the imagery of Tim Burton.
Right.
Really sells that film too.
Yeah.
Bender, what's this beer taste like to you?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Ooh,
It's a nice. I think this is a good drinking outside beer.
like a sessionable summer beer.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that? What about you?
I'd say probably like a 2. It's I think it's like a lager, and it's not quite my style.
I had a 3 as well. Nice summer beer.
You guys
nice
like
clarity. Went down the gullet pretty nice and smooth.
I'm gonna take a drink again because I didn't. I just don't know.
That was a good drink.
2. I'm gonna give it a 2. Here's the thing, though, and this was one of the curveballs I wanted to throw in, because this is Heavenly Bodies Golden Wheat,
Okay.
which is a non-alcoholic craft beer
The
from
Heavenly Bodies. Was it brewed by...
Well-Being Brewing Company, not by Tom Pritchard. From Well-Being. That is a non-alcoholic craft beer, which is a new craze.
Huh.
I'm going to read what they think
How
about
much
it.
does that cost?
I don't know. It's at the beer sauce shop. It's probably $3, something like that.
Yeah, for one,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna pay $10. I want a buzz.
so 7 IBUs. It's non-alcoholic, so there's no ABV listed. It is a vegan beer.
Oh, there you go.
Based on a Great American Beer Festival award-winning recipe, this American-style German traditional hops for a slight citrus character that balances the lighter malts. It's dry, crisp, and smooth with a full-bodied mouthfeel. At only 68 calories, this is the perfect NA beer for all your after-sports yoga, which I know you guys are big into, marathon
I
training.
would legitimately do yoga.
Me too, if I had the time.
Me
or
too.
anytime you are taking care to watch what's going into your heavenly body.
No.
They don't list what it pairs well with, but I can only assume a suspended driver's license.
Yeah.
In pregnancy.
Have you been to Well-Being yet?
No, I haven't, but I know they used to brew out of O'Fallon.
Yeah, now they're in.
For a while.
Well, they still list it. It's Well-Being Brewing by O'Fallon Brewery in Maryland Heights.
Yeah.
So it's
I
still-
did.
I think they got their own place. So.
I think they did too. I think they've been listed on. I think I follow them on Instagram. They've been
Yeah.
posting pics of
I
them.
don't follow these guys. I'm behind on this particular brewery. I don't know anything about them.
This is all they do is
Yeah,
non-alcoholic.
that's it.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
So the kids go there.
Yeah.
I think you actually have to be of age to buy non-alcoholic beer.
You
on
do.
the-
Yeah,
I think.
you do.
There's a whole Beavis and Butthead episode about it.
Huh. Sorry, I missed that one. Before we segue into beer 3, let's hear what Tommy's got while Ben gets it.
I should have brought this up earlier, but then I couldn't find it. So,
According to Pornhub, they have ranked all 32 countries that participated in the World Cup.
Okay, this should be
And-
And their porn tastes?
No, and how much Pornhub traffic went down during when their teams
do
played
this
in the game.
every-
Yeah.
Oh, they do the best things.
They really do. Pornhub's got some good stats. All right, so going around the table, winner will get nothing but pride and accolation. Name me the country during the World Cup that turned off the parn to watch some
Mexico.
football.
Bender goes to Mexico right out of the gate.
I'm going to say Japan.
Japan, okay.
Yeah, doesn't turn those freaks off.
Now, I saw the way they cleaned up the stadium. Did you see this?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Their fans cleaned the stadium.
So did their
It was
players.
and their
It was
players.
the team cleaned up the locker room.
No, the fans cleaned up the stands while the players were cleaning up the locker
wow.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I would say Japan. I don't even know who's playing this year.
Huh.
You
That's
don't want
fair.
to guess any of the other countries?
But just pick Brazil.
All right.
They don't have internet, so.
Yeah. I'll go Brazil.
Brazil's
Well, good
almost
thing
a
you picked Brazil
superpower.
because
kidding.
Brazil is the winner chicken dinner.
Yes.
This one.
Wow. Did you say Brazil was almost a superpower?
They're up there.
3, 4, 5, 6.
In-
Financially.
Brazil is
like the top 8
14th
countries.
on this list.
Japan was 6 from the bottom, and Mexico was
10 from the bottom.
Yeah.
Your top 5 countries that turned off the parn. Number 1, Senegal. Number 2, Iran. Number 3, Iceland. World Cup finalists, Croatia. Number 4 and number 5, Morocco.
How many of those can you pick on a map?
Japan.
Oh, wait, they were
3
not.
out of 5.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I want to revisit this. I think we need to look up the richest countries in the world and see where Brazil ranks. He just claimed Brazil's close to being a superpower.
They're close, I
They're,
think. They're on
they're
their way up.
BRIC, so they're part of that.
They're what?
BRIC. Brazil, Russia, India, and China.
That makes.
So they're like the...
They have
they're right behind the United States and the EU.
They have massive gambling.
They got InBev.
Yeah,
No, Brazil's probably
It's
top 10
huge
economy
steel
now.
market.
they're huge. Steel market. Wood market's even bigger. They're eBay. They're Brazilian.
You know what else is big there? Prostitutes.
Yeah, I mean,
And crime.
there's so much other stuff that holds them back. I think. Anyway,
Your top 5 countries that still like to beat off while the World Cup is going on, in no particular order: Australia, Russia, Costa Rica, France, and England.
well, the English—they're so repressed. They're very tidy.
Oh, I'm gonna watch this last tick off her knickers as I beat my tallywhacker.
Do you think anybody actually still says knickers?
I hope so.
They do
I'd
in
like to hope
movies.
so.
They do in movies.
New
Hey,
York basketball fans?
hey, we're on beer number 3. We're going to start moving through this. We're going to quit the side tangents
Crank
into it.
it up.
But this would be, since Jay, you are in fact our guest, we're going to give you this topic as we taste this beer and see what you brought to the table, sir.
Don't
All
fuck
right.
it up.
Did you guys see they're going to reboot RoboCop again?
You stole my topic, you bastard.
Kidding me. Unbelievable.
Oh, okay, I'll go to another one.
No, I'm just kidding. I got plenty, dude.
I brought 3, so is Hollywood officially out of ideas?
Oh, they have been for a while.
Because
They farmed Japan for a while in horror movies. They've been farming comic books pretty successfully, and they reboot everything. But when you reboot a reboot, it's ugh.
When they
And
bring back Monster Squad, they don't know they've run out of ideas.
there's a great documentary on Monster Squad coming out. It's awesome. It's called Wolfman's Got Nards. That
Nice.
monster. I own the Blu-ray of Monster Squad. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a good one.
But my problem is RoboCop 1, to me, is in the pantheon of perfect movies.
So
It
you
did
guys,
not need a two. It did not need a remake.
So
Yeah.
what? what I read today was they're ignoring RoboCop 2, ignoring RoboCop 2014 that I tried to watch twice
and
could
RoboCop
not.
3.
Is there a third one?
Yeah,
I don't
RoboCop
remember.
3. He
He
had
has
a
a jetpack.
jetpack. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
sweet. And it's either it's not necessarily a reboot, but it's a
It's kind of like what
Like a-
Halloween's doing.
yeah, it's a second, basically RoboCop 2 that they're trying to pull off. It's the original script.
Oh, Frank Miller's script for what he was going to do.
No, it's the I got it right here. It was
So
give me a
Frank
second.
Miller did his version of RoboCop 2 in the comic books, and
Right.
he did the 3 also. And
It says Justin Rhodes, who wrote Terminator 6, which I don't even know which one that
is
is.
that Genesis?
Who cares? Is rewriting a script by Ed Neumeyer and Michael Miner, who also wrote the original film.
Oh, okay.
So it's a script by the original writers, but who knows how much he's going to change.
yeah.
But yeah, I saw that today. I thought that was interesting.
So
And
it's
I
not a
don't know if I
reboot as
care.
per se,
Yeah.
as a redistribution of the other films, like
Right.
throwing them in the dumpster.
When is the last time anybody watched RoboCop?
The original?
Yeah,
5
the
years ago,
original.
maybe?
Every time I see it on TV, I'll watch it.
It's so bloody though. Is it on TV that often?
Fucking right. It's on Showtime or Cinemax all the time.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
sometimes they accidentally show you that the new one's on and it's really the old one. And it is so bloody. I mean, at one time, RoboCop 1 was only passed by RoboCop 2 and then Terminator 2 for
Well,
bloodiest
the
film.
original RoboCop had an NC-17 rating before.
Yeah, but that wasn't the blood. That was the adult. I'd buy that. The Benny Hill ripoff and stuff.
Yeah.
Was which one had the big machine that ran off cocaine?
That's 2.
Yeah,
that
and
too?
it wasn't cocaine. It was their version of speed and cocaine kind of
Either
thing.
way, it was fucking
It was
stupid.
like Crank or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
it was something. It was knock or
Hey,
something.
we built this machine that runs off a
And there's like
drug.
a little kid who's like the drug lord.
And he had a suitcase that folded into a machine gun.
Yeah.
Just unfolded, yeah. Which
Yeah.
was a real weapon, but it was a future weapon then. But
Yeah.
it actually existed.
Yeah,
I got to tell you,
yeah, in Desperado.
I will say this. When you first, I had not read this story, but when you first brought it, I almost turned the bar over. But when I found out that at least they're coming at it from a different angle than the other remake, which was awful.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
I tried twice and fell asleep both times.
I don't know that I finished it. That's rare. Usually, I mean, I once sat through an entire screening of Ultraviolet when it was brand new.
Oh, you made it all the way through that?
It was
you
comic,
are a
it was
bigger
comic
nerd
book
than me.
weekend in Kansas City, and I did it.
That's a
And
vampire movie, right?
it's a Catholic vampire movie. It's a vampire movie where the Catholic Church are the bad guys,
Yeah, that's a weird fucking movie.
and there's a kid hiding in a suitcase,
Ugh.
which is essentially a bag of holding from
I
Dungeons
think I
and
made
Dragons.
it like 20 minutes in, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think I've ever watched a Mila Jovovich movie since.
I also sat through in the theater Sucker Punch, maybe the 2 worst movies I've ever sat through at the theater.
I watched Sucker Punch all the way through. I was like, this is gonna get better.
At least it had
It did
multiple hot. No, it never does.
I had such high hopes for that at the time because
the trailer was awesome.
300 was out in the same style. It looked awesome.
As it turns out, Zack Snyder can't write his own movie.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Can't do it. He can barely direct one anymore.
Spectacular at the slow motion scene, but that is it.
I did watch Justice League over the weekend.
Me too.
Did you make it all the way through that?
I
fell
did.
I
asleep.
did.
I thought it was better than I was anticipating.
I agree.
I liked.
That Gal Gadot is a national treasure of
She's,
Israel.
she is a
Yeah.
sexy woman.
Did you see where she went to the children's hospital?
Yeah,
as a
that's amazing.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I did like when Superman returned how they didn't dumb it
Hey,
down.
don't spoil it. I didn't finish it. You can spoil it. I don't really
Well,
care.
where he just kind of shows that I'm Superman.
Does he have a super sweet mustache?
The only problem I have with that is the very first time they show him.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Apparently, Henry Cavill got in trouble for the Me Too movement. I didn't read about it, but I don't
I
care.
saw something. I'm over. I'm sorry, women. I'm over the Me Too movement. How it's dominating the headlines.
Well, now we're in trouble for it.
How good. I'm happily married with 2 of the greatest daughters in the world. So what is going on over there?
He's watching goals from
No, watching RoboCop 2. I just remember like all the cops like find out they're robots and they kill themselves.
Yeah.
I don't remember
All right,
anything about that.
Let's go ahead and rate this beer real quick so we can move to our next beer.
This is my favorite so far.
All right, that's a good call. What do you give it?
2.5. I'm kidding. It's a 4.
Well,
Solid 4.
Yeah.
It's a good beer.
I'm going to go 5. This is a style I like.
Anybody getting anything out of the taste?
Oh, I think I know what it is. I had it picked up earlier
It's
today.
definitely an IPA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tommy Two-Tone?
3.5. It's nice. It's
I'm gonna go
No, I
right
got
there.
my socks off.
I'm gonna go right there with Tom. I think it's a 3.5. It's above average.
Don't say what it is yet. I want to
All right,
guess.
it's one of my favorite. I want you to go ahead.
I think it's a modern brewery beer, and I think I've noticed a theme here if I'm right.
There's no theme, so you're wrong.
Okay.
The theme
I'm
was
assuming I'm right.
me and Andrew just walking through the store grabbing stuff.
It's 6 Mile Bridge Citra IPA.
Double Citra.
Mm.
Nice.
Okay.
Double
okay.
dry hopped. I'm a sucker for dry hopped beers. I love dry hopped beers.
Still a theme so far. These are all local breweries.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so fuck
true.
you, Jeremy.
Well,
fuck you,
I'm about to
Jeremy.
shit all over that. So.
Well, so far, I'm right.
I thought the theme for me was I did all cans this time.
Good
Just
for
so
you.
you know, this is 6% ABV. It's 30 IBUs. It's a Citra IPA. 6 Mile calls it the double dry hop Citra. Over 30 pounds of late edition Citra hops to get the fruity Citra qualities of this beer. It is filled with flavors of tropical fruit, melon, lime, grapefruit, and grenadilla, which I want to get into that.
Is it grenadine or grenadine?
I
No,
always said grenadine.
I know.
it's not grenadine. It's spelt with 2 L's and an A at the fucking end, not an I-N-E.
Why are you yelling at me?
Isn't grenadine a liquor?
Yeah,
or a
but
liqueur?
coming from the same place.
Yeah, I know. I'll just fucking
So
read it.
let me ask you this, and this is
using
something
my theme.
I want to be. I love the idea of being a cicerone or being a sommelier, but when I taste this, I get the Citra, I get the hops.
You gonna be a pirate?
Do you guys get? You guys get any of the fruit, the melon, the lime,
Yes,
the grapefruit?
I get a little bit of the lime.
A little bit of it, yeah. I get more of the Citra hops, though, knowing what they
I think
supposed to taste
90% of the time people are full of shit when they tell you what the taste flavors into a.
I just
something.
think it all.
really
I think
taste
it
the
all
tannins.
kind of tastes like oranges for the most part.
And that's
Citrus.
Not that's not a bad nose to know.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
They do say you can enjoy it with tamales, tacos, and Trivial Pursuit. First one that has mentioned a board game, which is a little odd.
I'm more of a sorry guy, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, you are.
I'm more of like my marriage trouble.
True, too.
We'll see what it's like this weekend.
What are you about to give us here? Is it your topic time? I got Bender up. As
Hey,
the
I
next
just want
one.
to say real quick that this is the best 6 Mile Brewery beer I've ever had.
It is. We had an unpleasant experience at 6 Mile Brewery.
Okay.
We did the Gus Fun Bus, which sucks at my. But we.
I've given them a couple other shots with their cans, and I think everything's okay, but this one is genuinely good.
This is very good.
Yeah.
But we went. That was the last stop of Missy's 40th birthday last
just
year.
think it.
We were so incredibly intoxicated, the three of us,
I just don't think it was a fair assessment.
and the bartender was legitimately awful.
Yeah.
There were
My
two,
wife was sober and said he sucked.
there were
so
two
he sucked.
people in there, and
Yeah.
we brought 14, and he seemed upset to see us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "You're dead.
Yeah.
It is a Saturday at 4:00, and you have no one in here. We will tip you
Yeah.
big. We're retarded.
Yeah,
and we're
we're
drunk.
hammered, yeah.
And we will tip." And he was not excited
early.
about it. Yeah.
I tipped him at least 75 or 80 cents.
Yeah, you did. We were not happy. We were not happy. Bender, grab a beer, and then it's your topic time.
I'm tired of being the beer bitch.
Well, it's just hey, everybody's got a hat to wear. Yours just happens to go with a nice, pretty pink dress.
Nice.
Pink is not. I'm not above pink.
You don't even put on
Sit your
pretense.
head on the wall there?
Call it salmon. You just call
Tom
it.
wore some salmon pants the other day. They looked nice.
Yeah, every once in a while. I
rock
run
it.
out of khakis to wear.
right.
He once dressed like a Neapolitan ice cream for a picture, and I.
Dealer's choice. You guys want a science topic, or do you want some random pop culture topic?
Well, since you're saying dealer's choice, you in fact in this situation are the dealer.
yeah, but you're the host, so I call
Oh,
you dealer.
host choice. Okay. No, I want. What was my options?
Some different pop culture topics, since there was a fellow nerd on,
Let's
or
do
a
the pop
science
culture.
topic.
Let's save the science for a later day.
Okie dokie. All right. This one kind of really caught my eye today. That Dark Horse is bringing William Gibson, the original Alien 3 scriptwriter that they threw out. They're
Yeah, the
bringing
movie they
his-
didn't make.
Yeah.
Oh, what were they supposed to make?
So here I'll give you the
Rundown.
The rundown of the script is in the script. A hibernating crew of the Sukula,
You can just make that
whatever,
up. We don't care.
are intercepted by a Union Progressive People, an independent nation, and taken to a large space station where inevitably the outbreak of xenomorphs subsequently occurs. The story explored the ideas of dueling governments, both fighting for control of a power of a biological weapon and more moral and sociological implications that fight would have. So it had a lot of Cold War influences and is nothing at all like the Alien 3 that showed up,
No.
which I personally like Alien 3.
It's not as
It's
bad.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as 1 or 2.
I mean, it's got The Rock in it.
No, it doesn't. Oh, Rock. R-O-C.
Yeah, he's going to win with that, huh?
Yeah. And
Charles S. Dutton
so
himself.
they threw away the Cold War thing and went for an Australian thing.
Yeah,
That's what they did. They wanted to go the prisoners.
And the only thing apparently that is written from the original scriptwriter is
the name Alien 3?
No, in the barcode scene where everybody gets tagged with the barcode apparently, which is very Cold War-esque.
Somebody said, "Great idea." That's very big. It's very Big Brother's watching you.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Orson Welles.
That age. Yeah, exactly. And it caught my eye, and I'm excited to read it. I think it'll be pretty cool. The art looks pretty awesome. I forget who was the artist on it. And then the other thing was, speaking of DC Comics, they finally put a picture out of Zachary Levi as Shazam this week.
Yeah, well, Entertainment Weekly
like a month or
released
two
it.
ago?
Well,
But it
there
was a shitty Instagram post
of him, and it looked
standing next to a poster of him drinking a soda. But now there's a real picture of him standing
next
outside
to
of
the
a
kid
convenience
who's
store.
Shazam, who's Billy Batson.
No, it's
No, it's not.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
not.
not?
It's
No.
Freddie Freeman, his best friend.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah. According to EW or whatever.
And then there's pictures. There's a couple of Entertainment Weekly, for those that don't know, released those pictures this week. So it looks pretty.
I think.
Also, by the way, side note, the first picture's not in costume of Kristen Wiig as
Ooh,
Cheetah.
yeah. I jumped on that like right away, and then today they showed like a video of her, and I was like, oh, see Cheetah in action, and I clicked on it. I'm like, she's still Kristen Wiig. I wanted to see what she looked like.
Yeah.
She's walking on set.
Yeah. Oh, they lifted her up.
Yeah.
Oh, action.
But anyways,
I wanna
this
see-
is weird.
Yeah.
But
This is
anyways,
one of the most weird.
It's very complicated. Like take a drink and then talk her and stuff.
No,
It's
it's like you just finished brushing your teeth.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, so back to the Zachary Levi thing. I think his muscles don't look real still to me,
But they look better than that original picture.
but I think his outfit looks cool. It's like very
Retro.
and basic. I like
It's
it.
very, you know what it is? It's very Mike Aldred and Shazam, his Shazam.
And I was going to kick it to you guys because I don't know much about Shazam.
Captain
at all.
Marvel, that's his name.
But whatever, exactly. But so I was gonna. What do you guys think? You're more DC guy. I was a Marvel dude.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was more of a Marvel guy too. I love this Captain Marvel from Young Justice. That's the most I've ever really seen of him.
Okay.
And I think they did it perfect there. So hopefully, if they can get that vibe, I'll be happy.
So I've read a bunch of different versions. I even have a hardcover floating around of Captain Marvel stuff. I think I have Jeff Smith's written one because I loved Bone, and I think I've read Matt Wagner's take. I've read everybody's take. There's been some really good ones. I love, as we've mentioned before on the podcast, Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
How he showed up in that.
That's the most I think I've ever
It's
read.
a very fun character that it will be very hard for DC to make too dark like they have in the past.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking most forward to.
All the set pictures have been daylight, which is
Yeah.
awesome. So Zack Snyder's not getting in there and fucking dark mooding it up.
No, and his like suit almost looks like a traditional like cloth style suit, like the old school Superman.
I was worried when you see the first one.
That was a
It's
bad
like,
picture.
It's like my kid's Halloween costume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad
have the
picture.
muscles built in.
Well, I was a cosplayer.
Yeah.
I'm not seen enough to really give an actual take on it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
That's that much I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun, and
And we're gonna get The Rock as a bad guy.
eventually.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll show up in the first one.
I don't think he will.
Post-credit scene? Come
Maybe,
on.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're what are they? 0 for what are they? 1 for 4 now.
Yeah, Wonder
There's
Woman
no
being the
guarantee. Yeah.
See, I didn't think Man of Steel was that bad. I kind of enjoyed that.
Are you seriously?
Yeah.
I
Get
thought
out
it
of
was
here.
better than the world thought it was, but
Yeah.
and especially when I've watched it a second and third time, I was like, it's not great. I thought
Explain
Justice
to
League
me
was
why
better.
his dad died then.
Well, we're not getting into it.
Nope. Yep.
Last Jedi
Nope.
sucked.
Want to know? Nope. Nope. If you're gonna argue with me about the Last Jedi, I want to
No,
know why his dad died.
I'm calling a kibosh on it.
I'm
I'll
not.
have your back on Last Jedi.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not an overtly fan.
I just want to know why he died. Why did he let himself die?
because they did that in the originals also.
Oh, that was stupid.
So I
That
mean,
was
that's
very,
just what they do.
Very stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they make a lot of poor choices in the DC universe.
Anyways, not the point. I thought it looked kind of fun. I thought it was it looked interesting, and it piqued my interest.
Well, we're gonna mix this up. We're gonna start with Jay on this beer. I want to know what you think of this beer.
This is interesting. I have no clue.
This is there's a reason you don't. This is probably the most different ingredients I've ever read in a beer.
Okay.
Okay. So smell it, then taste it, and then don't drink it for a while, which I think is the most interesting part.
It's almost got like ginger, I think.
That's a good call.
And it's pretty dry.
Yeah, the dry. I mean, I think the ginger probably lends itself to that a little bit. So you guys want to know?
We got to rate it first.
I give it a 2.
Oh, let's get a rating. 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a solid rating, Thomas.
I dig this. I give it a 4.
Wow!
I really
was
dig this.
Not expecting that.
I like it.
I'm gonna be a little more on that than Tom. I'm gonna go. I mean, than Jay. I'm gonna go 2.5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.2.
4.2 is not a real rating.
No, 4 as well.
I get it.
I'm gonna go 4 as well, and
Wow!
I don't think that I would drink it. I'm not gonna sit around my house and drink it all the time, but maybe one a day because it's so complicated. It's interesting.
Like me.
Yeah,
That's right. I'm going to unveil it. I'm going to give it a 2.5. I'm unveiling it. It is a 4 hands.
Still the theme stays.
I'm sorry, Avery. Sorry, Avery. I
fuck
like
you.
it. Bug Zapper. Here's why.
Yeah, I like it. That's a good name.
It is a sour, but it is a sour brewed with ginger and mint.
I dig it.
I taste the mint a
is
lot.
a
I was gonna say basil.
It is
maybe.
a limited release from Avery to help scratch your summer itch. A lively mix of mint, ginger, and lime, and that is both cooling and invigorating. And we sour dose after fermentation to import the finished electric zap. Enjoy while watching your friends' faces the first time they take a taste, because that was my favorite part of it.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody try to do a minty, a refreshing thing with a sour before.
Yeah.
I don't dig it. I don't hate it. I've come around to where I've drank sours more and more of late. This is not one I would drink
I think
again.
we're late to that show.
I like traditional sours more than this one.
Wild yeast and things like that from
Yeah.
Side Project and stuff. This is not my favorite. It's unique. I will say this. It is incredibly different.
I very much like it.
Avery has a whole facility for just experimental brewing like this, and it's really cool because you can look in and see.
Like that Schlafly here does.
Yeah.
I mean, the tap room is there.
Yeah.
Urban Chestnut has one now too, across the street from their Grove Brewery. They
Yeah.
have like
The research facility.
research lab,
Yeah.
and you just get little tasters for like $1.
That's unbelievably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
and
not-
$20 pizzas that aren't bad.
Are they not bad? Or they aren't bad?
They're not bad.
All right. Well, Tom, I'm sorry, Tom. Bender, grab the beer number 5.
No,
and
you
we're gonna
should
let...
be sorry,
hey,
Tom.
grab that beer out of the freezer too and move it down.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
But yeah, we're going to. It's going to be Tom's topic. Tom, you can go ahead and jump into it while he is.
Hey, the 70th Primetime Emmy Award nominations came out today.
All
We're going
right.
to go through them all, but let's go through a couple here, and we'll have some opinions.
All right. I'm listening.
Outstanding Comedy Series, Atlanta,
Yep.
Barry, Blackish, Curb, Glow, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Silicon Valley, and The Unbreakable.
So I don't
Kimmy
know what the
Schmidt.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel
It is on Amazon. I have never heard of it.
I
Okay,
never
I
heard
was
of
going
it
to say
either.
BBC, but say those again real quick, minus Mrs. Maisel. 'Cause
Atlanta? What's your name?
Atlanta. Atlanta.
Atlanta. Just call me Atlanta.
That's good.
Barry, Blackish, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Glow, Silicon Valley, Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt. One thing right off the bat, only one show on network television.
Yeah, Blackish.
Yeah, Blackish. I've tried watching Blackish. It's not bad. I don't get into it.
I think it's overrated.
I loved Barry. My opinion on why it's overrated is because I feel like people so badly want to get behind things sometimes. It's why I think so many people rallied behind Black Panther, which was a very good movie.
Yeah.
But it was not in the top 3 or 4 of the Marvel movies. It was just a very good movie.
It would have
Blackish
been
is
if they would have
I
did
like
less
Blackish.
CG.
And it could have just been a good movie, but everybody, I mean,
Too much CG.
Same way with Wonder Woman. I loved Wonder Woman, but people were, people latch onto a cause,
Yeah.
and they really want it to be better.
Yeah,
They
like
want-
hating Last Jedi.
Yeah, no, it's not a good movie.
So I'm gonna read these off, and you guys just kind of give
We
me
got
your,
a theme that we're never gonna get over.
off those shows. What would you pick?
I really enjoyed Barry. It's not the best. I think Silicon Valley or I don't. Curb's got its awards. I didn't even watch this newest season. I usually watch them way late. I'm gonna go ahead and say Silicon Valley would probably be my pick.
Jay?
So is this for Glow season 1?
Yes.
Oh,
I'd
I
probably go
enjoyed
that.
that. I enjoyed that.
I would
a
go
lot.
Glow as well. I think
Yeah.
Glow is
You know what? I'm changing
Is
to
this
that.
for Atlanta season 1 or Atlanta season 2?
Atlanta season 1.
season 1.
My problem is the distinction comedy. Atlanta has got funny
Atlanta's
parts.
like really
It's a
all
dramedy.
over the board.
It's a drama. Yeah,
but then they have episodes that are hilarious, and they have episodes that are.
It has the
not.
funniest character on TV right now, I think.
I don't think it should win best comedy. I think it maybe best writer. Or best director.
Donald Glover certainly.
I would go
deserves
Glow.
it.
I think Atlanta's a super smart film, but for show.
You can
but I
make a
don't
case
think
that
it's-
Glow is a dramedy as well.
Yeah, Atlanta may be the best, but I think if I were going to just
I
call
just
it
don't
comedy,
see it as a comedy.
Yeah.
See, I haven't watched recent Silicon Valley. I don't catch much TV. I usually binge watch.
It's not
after,
TV, it's HBO.
Yeah.
Boom.
Human box
I
office.
did it.
Yeah, you did it. So, I mean, I haven't seen Atlanta.
It's good.
I haven't seen Blackish. I really don't catch much of that stuff. And if I do,
You're supposed to act like you know everything.
I stopped watching
Yeah.
ABC shows when they canceled Last Man Standing.
Right. America. Hashtag MAGA.
Thank God for Fox.
So let's zoom through these, though. Let's move this.
All right,
So we're
so
over
I'm
an hour.
only going to do drama, and then I'm going to do maybe like one of the acting categories.
All right, let's do it.
Outstanding drama series: The Americans, The
Okay.
Crown,
All right.
Game of Thrones,
Okay.
Handmaid's Tale,
Okay.
Stranger Things, This Is Us, Westworld.
Wait, did they put drama? Stranger Things as a drama?
So I
you
believe
classify it as?
Handmaid's Tale is going to win, but I think This Is Us is the other favorite. But because I love Stranger Things so much, I want that to win.
I don't think Stranger Things is a drama.
I think it's a coming of age adventure.
yeah.
But
I'm going to say it's going to be Handmaid's Tale.
I think it's going to
or-
win.
What was the first one you said?
The Americans.
Yeah, it's either of those two. Strong ending on the Americans, apparently.
And a week ending I hear on Handmaid's Tale last night, or this past week.
Yeah, got bad reviews.
I'll go probably Stranger Things.
I'm gonna-
I've only seen that in Game of Thrones.
I'm just going to root for it to win.
Yeah.
And so because of that,
Yeah.
it's my pick.
I mean, it's got Rudy in it.
I would put
You
Tie
said,
back.
spoiler alert, it did have.
Stranger Things as more of a comedy than Atlanta. Because the boys have
Yeah, I
childish
wouldn't.
comedy.
I think
No.
they're pretty on par with not being straight comedies. I think Atlanta's got more funny moments.
I don't think it's a straight comedy either. And yeah, Atlanta does have more awkward comedy
Yeah.
situations, but I just think it's.
What's
I
that
don't know.
one buddy's name? The skinny dude. He's the funniest guy
Yeah,
on TV.
he's got that new movie, Sorry to Bother You, that's coming out.
yeah.
That looks
Oh,
amazing.
that does look
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. For those that don't know, it's a movie. That's the one where he talks white.
Yeah,
right?
he acts like a white dude.
And it gets
and he,
more bizarre from there.
yeah, and he's a down and out dude, and he gets a telemarketing job and acts like a white guy, and he skyrockets
Well, it's
through
just
the corporate
it's
world.
not that he acts like it's on the phone. He has a white voice, which
Yeah,
is someone
yeah,
else's
yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Because Danny Glover, is that who it is? Tells him you got to talk white.
Yeah.
And he pulls off the
Well,
most
there's
white voice in the
Spike
world.
Lee's got a movie out now too about the KKK or whatever. And it's
Oh,
a true story.
Yeah, that looks awesome. If
What
you've
is it,
not
Black
seen that-
Klansman?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a black guy that is tasked with helping taking down the KKK, and since he can't join, he gets the most non.
Is it Kylo Ren? I think it's
Yes,
Kylo Ren.
yeah, it's Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver. He gets Adam Driver to pose
Who's
as him.
who's just a physical guy, but not a smart cop, and he feeds him all the lines,
all the
what
lines,
he should
yeah.
do, and yeah.
I was disappointed it wasn't the Dave Chappelle Black.
Yeah.
No, like I
White
think it's
Tyrone Biggins.
David Duke that he calls right away, right?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, he does in that.
Yeah, like
but
in
no.
the trailer, he calls him up and he's like, "Is this David Duke?" And he gets the white voice and he's just like going on about black people. He's like, "Well, I'm all in, buddy."
All right. Not only have we been nothing but guys the last few weeks, we've been running long every week. But let's go
We're
ahead.
some
And do it.
chatty
So the last
Cathy's.
one I want to do real quick because I have a little bit of an issue with it. Outstanding
boy.
supporting actor in a comedy series.
All right.
We have Louis Anderson from Baskets. Which
I mean, he's the new what's his name? Jeffrey.
Tamborn.
Yeah, Tamborn. Yeah.
Titus Burgess as
I love Titus.
Titus
though.
is great. Yeah. Brian Tyree Henry as Paperboy on Atlanta.
He
That's
should
the guy.
win.
That's
the one that should win.
No, that's his paper.
Oh,
the rapper.
Paperboy's good though.
Yeah, he's real good.
Tony Shalhoub.
Shaloop.
That's Monk, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monk or
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
or the taxi driver from Wings.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was his
yeah.
first
Yeah.
big role.
Oh, he was
Henry
in,
Winkler from Barry.
He's good in that.
And
He's-
then we've got Kenan Thompson from SNL, which I don't have a problem with, but I do have a
I
problem
do
with
have
this
a
one.
problem with that in the category.
Oh, it gets worse. Alec Baldwin. And it says at least for Kenan, it says as various characters on SNL. For Alec Baldwin, it just says as Donald Trump. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
yeah,
That is bullshit.
Well, but the rules do say an appearance. That's why Kelsey Grammer. Has
Oh, I
won.
get it, but I mean, like,
And he does a very good job at Donald Trump.
And he
But-
does show up almost every week, but there's real people.
I think you got to put
That's
in work,
politically.
son.
That is a liberal.
I'm pulling for Paperboy.
I would
Paperboy.
pull for Paperboy or any of those guys. Honestly, anybody was good.
I'm gonna go over Henry. Is Henry Winkler?
Henry
one?
Winkler is the best thing about. Well, actually,
Henry Winkler is just a. He's just a national treasure.
If you've not heard of this show, Barry is.
I've
awesome.
seen a few episodes
It's
of it.
very good, and Henry Winkler's the star.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Bill Hader.
Has he done anything that isn't like good? I've never seen like I don't know if he's ever been in a starring role, but as a supporting character,
Whoa,
like,
never.
everything.
Well, I guess he wasn't a
great.
starring role in the Fox.
Oh, Henry Winkler?
Yeah,
It's because he's awesome.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've never watched.
Have you heard an
something that-
interview of him? He's just like the nicest
Yeah.
guy too.
He's a great Twitter follow. We talked about this the other day.
All he does is catch rainbow trout.
He is a guy much like Shatner late in the third act of his career, who knew what he was, embraced what he was, and just went and did it.
Yeah, but like
So-
back to Twitter real quick,
All right.
Because I'm going to interrupt you, interrupt you.
Hashtag Benderuption.
I don't know what you guys follow, but basically my world is burning on Twitter, and then Henry Winkler rolls through with a fish, and I'm like, everything's better, and then back to fire all the time.
Henry Winkler has been nominated for
6 Emmys.
Never won?
Never won.
Oh, he's got to get it there.
Yeah, I'm rooting
Paperboy's
for
a young
Henry Winkler
man.
then.
Yeah.
He's got time.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler. Let's go ahead and rate this beer. And we'll start with you, Thomas, Crown Affair.
Start with me last. I haven't drank it.
Pierce Brosnan.
I will get into it now then. This is one of, it's in my
say
wheelhouse
you
because
see
it
Renee
looks like
Rose's
motor
boobies
oil.
in that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and they're all good. But this is right in my wheelhouse, being a nice motor oil thick beer. I enjoy it. I like it. It's a beer that company that's popped up a lot of late in our beer review, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5 out of the 6.
I'm going to give it a solid 3 because it
3.5.
tastes like all the other stouts,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'd say a 3 on it.
Okay.
which is not a bad thing. It's
No.
just you're not standing out.
I give this a 2.
I don't like the aftertaste on this, and
I think I
It
know
does hang
why.
on your tongue for a while.
yeah, I feel like I'm like eating this.
Is it dark chocolate?
It is, just so you know, it is from Stillwater Artisanal, who may be the absolute kings of collaborations. That's
Yeah.
all they do.
But they're not the king of beers.
It is a Stillwater Artisanal with Casita Cerveza Imperial. That's the company they brewed it with. It's an Imperial Stout. It's they don't give you the IBUs on their website. I mean the IBUs. Who gives a shit? It's an Imperial Stout, but they don't give the ABV. But since it's Imperial, I got to figure it's around somewhere around the 10 to plus.
Yeah.
Here's where they go south, though. Here's the write up on their website.
Like literally, I think they team up
Yeah,
with
they
like
went
a
with,
Mexican
Hispanic.
beer brewing company.
Yeah, they found the lawnmower racist.
You said that, not me.
I was channeling my wife. Here's what they put: big, overhyped Imperial Stouts. Am I right? And they spelt it AMIRITE. This one on fleek, though, the most amazing collaboration ever. It's to be enjoyed.
I feel like you're supposed to yell that.
It's. By the way, this one doesn't list anything ever, but I decided it's to be enjoyed in spite of that write-up. That is the dumbest description for any beer on a website
Nah,
of all time.
I think it's okay because it's funny.
Hey,
But the
hey,
can is literally an epileptic seizure
an epileptic
in a can.
seizure. Hey, big overhyped Imperial Stouts. Am I right?
You're right.
This one on fleek though,
It is overhyped.
and they even put an emoji on there because they've really got it tired into the
yeah,
kids.
stop
By the way,
moving it. I'm
people-
literally going into seizure.
Is this
shock
a little
here.
bit like Marlboro cigarettes marketing towards kids? Isn't that right?
No,
I mean,
that's a little cowboy killer.
I wouldn't put that past them, though, because they've got, like, an artistic
Oh
owner.
man,
And
that strobe light we had the last time we did this was unbelievably good, and that
Yeah.
can was awesome.
Well, and have you seen the modern Pop Star
Yes.
double IPA,
Yeah.
which is like those old WoW
Yeah,
CDs?
that's cool.
Yeah.
Beer 6, Bender. It's the second to last one you have to get.
I just wanted to do that because it sounded cool.
Yeah, you really drug out the time that we don't want to drag out, so you did a good job.
Come for the witty banter. Stay for my breathing heavily into a microphone.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yep. It's amazing. Those are two things that his wife never does. She doesn't show up for his Woody Banner or wait for his heavy breathing.
She likes my heavy petting, though.
Hey now.
Not right now.
Got her.
Store's closed.
Jay,
Store is shut.
Jay only knows your wife from the 15 minutes before we come down here, and I bet even he knows that.
Yeah. She's a,
Hey,
The
I've
worst-
been there 3 times.
She's
so.
the worst pregnant woman in the world.
she's a
Oh, really?
barrel of rainbows
She
right
is,
now.
yeah. She's a basket full of monkeys carrying katanas and very angry. Here we go. This is let's pour this beer. This is I don't know if we have any more water left.
We don't.
Here, I'll use this in here.
You gotta get a toilet down here.
You gonna pay for that bathroom down here?
You can put it on the tank. It's not gross there.
You have plumbing down here for if you ever wanted to?
I do. I mean, we're washer and dryers
We
down.
know a couple plumbers.
We do know them. I know a handful. I played softball with all of them on Friday nights.
Yeah.
All right. This is by far my favorite looking
They're still
beer
full of
that
shit,
I have. I purchased. Or I didn't purchase. These were all donated by our good buddy Andrew, the beer dude at the Beer Sauce Shop.
And if you get a chance, why don't you head down there to the beer sauce shop?
318 Mid River Mall Drive, Tom.
Yeah, oh, man.
They love you. I went up there after softball practice on Sunday
Yeah.
and dropped your name, and they just raved about you.
Oh, yeah, it's because Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Uncle Dave is good.
Yeah, it was Uncle Dave.
people.
Yeah, he's my boy.
Mm.
All right, so let's taste this beer, and then we're going to get into something that's going to make Tom absolutely not want to talk.
Star motherfucking Wars! I have no idea. I'm just assuming.
Okay. Hey, we haven't announced it. I'm going to tweet it or text it out after I record this, which means when you're listening to this, you already know. But we're going to do year 2000 for the next episode of That Year in Comics.
That was a tough one to find good comics on.
No,
I don't think so.
If
well,
you just Google year in comics,
yeah.
it's a tough. It's a
he is-
shitty Wikipedia page.
He is right.
Yeah.
It is a shitty Wikipedia page.
I agree.
But it is a good year for comics, and this one, what we've constantly been asking, and it's the second time you nominated a couple of years, but the first time we listened to you, proving that we absolutely don't give a shit about the people who listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we say tweet us and give us suggestions all the time, and we ain't
We
fucking
love
listening.
all of you,
But-
but re-rat the most.
That's right. But, Jay, you picked the years, you said 98 or 2000. I chose 2000.
I thought he said 99 or 2000.
Oh,
I'm
maybe
sorry.
you did. Oh, yeah, I was wondering why you said that.
You told me 99. That's
I
why I
think it was
said 100
98.
bullets.
It was 98.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. You just did it.
No, you said 99.
You don't listen.
You don't know how to talk.
I beg to differ. I have a podcast.
Damn, Gino!
But we carry it, bitch.
Yeah.
We?
Yeah, I got fleas, man. I got fleas. Don't worry about it.
So is there else in your pocket? So why the year 2000? What was it about that made you want to pick it?
2000. Do we just become best friends?
That's the worst. That's the worst cool moment I've ever had. Of this.
Yeah.
It was good. But it sucked at the same time.
I don't think I can hear anymore.
I'm going to edit that for an hour. So why the year 2000, Jay?
All right, so that was the launch of the Ultimate line for Marvel.
That's probably. I assume that's why you picked it, and it's a good
right.
reason.
Yeah.
It made me looking into it. Can't wait for 2002 when Ultimates comes out.
Right.
But that was a good
Yeah.
one. That's the only thing I think out of that whole genre that I genuinely enjoyed was the Ultimates.
Oh man, no.
No.
The first 12 to 24 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man are.
they're okay.
And even the early Ultimate X-Men was really
Oh,
good, too.
the first.
I did not dig that. I
Oh
disagree.
man, I loved the first up until the end of the original Magneto arc,
Yeah.
and then
I
and it's still one of my single favorite issues of any X book is the one where Wolverine has to go and kill the kid.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Spoiler,
that's good.
he does.
I just my thing. I know what they were trying to do, and everybody's done it since then. But Spider-Man was already established. It wasn't that like make him a web designer and all that or whatever. It was okay.
Well,
And I really did not like Green Goblin.
I'll give you that. I didn't like the mutated Goblin over the Goblin uniform, but Spider-Man, but
mutated, but he looked like a shitty Hulk.
But if you remember, and I know you kind of left comics for a little while and then come back, Spider-Man was not the Spider-Man that you loved.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was a grown-up guy with marriage
No,
problems.
and I agree. Yeah,
This was making him Spider-Man again.
yeah. And I think that's fun.
And I think without these books, we don't get the movies that we have now.
Well,
No,
and we're
I
gonna-
give you that.
We're going to
Yeah,
talk
absolutely.
about it. So that's going to be one of the 3 books we break down is the first 12 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man because that's a big arc. And that is right. We wouldn't have movies without it. And without the Spider-Man movies and the X-Men movies, we may not have the comic book movies we have now.
No,
Right.
yeah.
And so other things I had written down from that year were Punisher. Welcome back, Frank.
Welcome back, Frank. Steve Dillon and
that was-
Garth Ennis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that reestablished him after he was that angel.
Oh, which was awesome.
Yes.
And it was a Marvel Knights, but this was this the first year of Marvel Knights?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't the first year, but that
The
Marvel boy.
Knights came out.
Yeah.
first.
It was a Marvel
I
Knights
want to
story.
say 98 was when that started. That was
Okay.
Daredevil. I was in college and I had a
Oh
subscription
yeah, that
and
was
it was sent to
that
me.
was Kevin Smith there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Can you
so-
still do subscriptions to comics where they mail them to you?
not anymore.
Yeah.
Really? Man, that'd be cool.
My in-laws used to get them for me for Christmas every year.
The-
Get me a
That's
couple,
awesome.
couple
as
subscriptions.
So as a guy that owned a comic shop, you could tell when a person come in that had a subscription because of the way they rolled them. It put a definitive crease in the middle of the book, and
Yep.
you knew it was a subscription comic. It devalued the comic. Actually.
Yeah, of course.
And just for reference, I went to his shop right before it closed.
Oh, did you really?
I had a pull and hold there for a couple weeks.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
were
had
the
a
days.
pull. I stopped my pull and hold about 3 years ago, but I had one, and I
Not
loved
at
it.
my shop, you didn't, and you were my neighbor.
Well, I was. You got me back in, man. You closed up shop. Sorry, bro.
I wish I remember, and I apologize for not remembering. But
I only came in a couple times right at the end.
yeah, when we clearly were on the way out.
Yeah.
I like to think it was awesome.
Yeah, they were selling the GI Joe toys.
Yeah,
So there was Justice League Tower of Babel.
which I mentioned. I
Yep.
think we're probably going to break that down. A
That's
great story.
that's the
Grant Morrison's run with
Earth 2, right?
No,
Or no,
it's-
not Earth 2.
JLA.
JLA
Just
2 or
yeah.
whatever.
No, it's JLA.
That's not what it says on my phone.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
JLA. Trust
I'm gonna
us.
look at it.
I have it written down. JLA.
Yeah, but
No, it was
I
a
don't know.
part of the regular JLA series
Yeah.
that Grant Morrison relaunched. I have the first two
JLA
couple.
Earth 2.
It was right after Morrison left. I can't think of who did it now. I think Mark Waid.
I think you're right. It was Mark Waid.
Yeah.
Mark
Well, I better
Waid.
make sure I'm reading the right thing because I'm reading Grant Morrison's JLA Earth 2 because it was a 2000.
JLA
title.
Earth 2 is not Tower of Babel. We keep saying Tower of Babel.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Tower of Babel
Jeez,
was
nerds.
the artist too was Howard Porter, I believe.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
Loved because him and Wade were tag team partners on Flash when they made him great again.
And they had just left Flash because
Yeah.
that's when Jeff Johns took over.
And he's probably my favorite Flash artist of all time, next to Mike Ringo.
Yeah.
And probably even more Mike Ringo, who we talked about on the last issue
Yeah.
of this year in comics.
Mike Ringo?
WRINEGO.
Ringo.
Ringo.
Kind of Ringo.
So there was No
I'm your
Man's Land that
Huckleberry.
year.
No
He
Man's
was a
Land, very
star.
underrated. Tied into my favorite Nightwing stories of all time. In fact, that issue got up to around $30 to $50 here and there.
Yeah.
Because it was the underprinted one of it.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, that was we'll probably touch on it, but an earthquake hits Gotham. And Batman is trapped, and what was cool about the Nightwing tie-in is he had to come and save him from the Batcave.
Yeah.
He would be trapped and dead in there if it wasn't for Dick Grayson.
And that was the introduction of Batgirl too.
Yes, the Cassandra.
Yes.
What was her name? Cassandra
Cassandra
Cain.
Cain.
Yeah, who was my favorite Batgirl, hands
Yeah.
down by far.
Yeah.
So then a couple smaller series. There's 300 that came out that year.
300 was.
Really?
Well, we might need to do that one.
I've never read it.
I've got the hardcover somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, Wildcats 3.0.
That was the one issue from Warren Ellis or Jim Lee, and wasn't it?
No, this was the later
that was
series.
the
This is
Michael. How'd you spell his name?
Is it? I think it was Scott Lodell.
Scott Lodell and Travis Cherie,
Yes.
who drew it.
And it was like corporate superheroes.
Yeah, and it was very good.
Yes.
And it tied into what Alan Moore's Wildstorm universe
Right.
stuff was. No, what I was thinking of was they relaunched it again later with Grant Morrison or Warren Ellis
Yeah.
and Jim Lee, and it was the big relaunch, and they did one issue and never released another one.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, that was a good one. And Travis Charest, I don't even know how
Yeah.
unbelievably good artist. Yeah.
And then Powers.
Oh, Michael
Oh, yeah,
Economy and
Bendis.
Brian Michael Bendis. That's was that when Power started?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm changing from Grant.
It's what happened to Retro Girl.
Whatever happened to Retro Girl? Yeah, what happened to Retro Girls? Or who killed Retro Girl? That's the
Yeah.
story I'm going to do. That's worth it.
And then last thing, that was the end of Preacher.
Yes, I
God
did see
damn
that
it!
too.
We now have 16 books to review on that episode.
You can end Preacher. I never finished it.
Oh God, I'm so happy.
I'll read the first 12 issues of Powers.
Oh, Powers. We're going to do Powers. We'll mention a lot. We'll talk about a lot. But the ones we'll break down will be Powers, Ultimate Spider-Man, and you wanted to do.
I don't have to do Earth 2.
Well, then let's do.
Let's do Marvel Boy because it's
All
short.
right, so that's an image. That's a Marvel.
Well-
Two Marvels, so and that'll work.
That's fine.
And it'll be our first image. So I'm good. I'm done. Yeah.
It's going to be super late in the month, though.
Yeah, not
Because
next
we're
week, but the
12
week
days
after.
in. I got to read 3 comics in a week.
Not next week, but the week after.
Yeah.
You make that sound like a problem.
I'm excited
not,
about
but
it.
I got like 7 comics at home.
I'm excited about it. Between you, Rick Dury, one of the owners of Beer Sauce Shop, and that is, like I've said this before, that's our most downloaded episode when we release it, the comic book one.
Because we are witty.
And it's led us to, well, we don't even try to be witty on that one. It's just we talk about, I don't even think we make jokes.
I've been throwing them on Reddit.
Oh, good.
Thanks,
we have a Reddit. We have a subreddit. I just have stopped using it.
I've been throwing them on the comic Reddit.
I need to get there.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
thanks,
awesome. And when we're done, like I said, we'll get into a couple things
We
too.
should do that as another idea because we've been kicking other ideas around that one issue thing. I can't think of the name of it, but I have it. There's a book that I'll look it up for you. But there's a book that I read, and the guy wrote it, and it's beautifully drawn and everything, and the artist wrote it and drew it, and then he broke both of his arms and got really fucked up. And it was an amazing, cool story about a girl who went into a VR. She had a shitty life. Basically, it was like Ready Player One, but more artsy.
Okay.
And it was really cool and beautiful. And then the guy broke both his arms, and nothing ever came of it.
I would be up, and that's another thing.
And that's that would be fun to do, like a couple issues of that.
Before we rate this beer, I did want to ask you if you had some advice for things we're looking for. We want to keep doing the years. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
But we're thinking about doing like a creator's, like one writer or one artist.
I think we're just going to dedicate one episode to Next Wave.
We made, God, we love that so much.
Yeah, do a Warren Ellis episode.
That would be hard for one to be Warren Ellis Part 1.
Well,
We'd break his career.
Because I pointed out Global Frequencies on one of the episodes.
Yeah, Global Frequency is really good.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Fell was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And that was his $2 book. They released it at the time when the books were $3.25. They did that for $1.99, and it was awesome.
That was the one where he's in the dream world, like the cop that's in the dream world?
No, that's Midnight Nation.
No,
Fell is where he is. He's a cop in a new town. He gets reassigned. This girl, he gets drunk for a one-night stand. She tattoos his neck to protect him from the demonic devil worshippers that's in the town. Oh, it's so good.
I think I've
It's
read
all
it.
on Hoopla. It's on Hoopla if you have that app. It's great. Fell and another one that came out, and Barry Templesmith drew both of them. That one and the other one, which I just bought at Half Price Books. $10,000. They were similar books. Both awesome.
That was Straczynski.
Yeah, well, $10,000 was Straczynski. It was supernatural. Fell is almost the same thing, but not supernatural.
I'll have to find that.
It's just serial killers.
Okay.
It's awesome. So one thing I was thinking about too is like maybe breaking down a single book once. Like for instance, like our favorite single issues. And my thought was we do Whatever Happened to the Truth, Justice, and the American Way, which is the single best issue of Superman of all time.
Yeah.
Where he fights, quote unquote, the Authority.
Yeah.
I read Fell. That's good.
Oh yeah. And
I had to look at it. The one I saw the
it never
comic
finished.
The art.
He didn't finish it.
That sucks. But it was very interesting.
There was 8 issues, and then the 9th issue was like 6 years later, and they still haven't finished.
Yeah, it sucks.
And he teases every once in a while, I'm going to do it.
That's like Umbrella Academy. They just teased the 3rd book of that.
Good segue. What's it called? Something.
I just Instagrammed it. Hold on. I'll look it up.
It's called something Hotel, Dark Hotel or something.
Yeah, something like that. It looked awesome.
And
the art looks the same.
And it's Gabriel Ba and Gerard Way together again.
I just read the first 2 volumes 2 or 3 weeks ago.
After our episode, and I just reread the second one because of it, and I'd forgotten how much I remembered reading Dallas and thinking this is not as good as the first one, and then this week I thought I lied. It's good.
It is good. It's different.
It's a different story. This one probably looks to me more noir nor horror. But anyway, so what do you think? What else should we incorporate into that year in comics?
Yeah, you could definitely focus on writers and artists.
Yeah, do like every once in a while, like every 3rd or 4th episode, throw in like a review of their career.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Like I'm a huge Robbie Rodriguez fan, and and I'd like to do his book.
Violent.
The one where we do Spider-Gwen if we wanted to, but then there's the other one that they changed the name of it. It's the one where physics go out the door. UC.
Yeah, that was. I can't remember the.
I've had too many fucking beers.
It's like the Federal Bureau of.
Federal Bureau of Physics. FCBC.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
That's a great book.
And then they changed the name. Like after the first trade, they changed the name.
Fucked with you.
Yeah, and it messed you up. But it was a great book.
Let's rate this beer.
Man, we got super nerdy.
We're going to
Sorry,
Tom
Tom
now. Let's go to Tom. Let's bring you back into it.
Hey guys, what's up?
Rate the beer, Tom.
I give this a 3.5. Nice and drinkable and smooth as that conversation that I tuned out for about 5 minutes.
That's what you do when you're not into it. That means I'm going to go next. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. I'm going to say 3.
Hotel Oblivious.
That's it.
Oblivions.
Yeah.
That's what the
There's
beer's
an
called?
N. There's an N in there.
Yeah, there's an N.
What do you think about this beer, though?
Oh, there's an N in it, too, I guess. I'm going to give it a 2.
Bender's not too high on it. What about you, Jay?
I'd say about a 2.5. It's just kind of... It's just there. It's nothing really stands out.
Much like Grant
wanna
Morrison's
know why?
career, it fizzles out at the end.
You want to know why nothing stands out? Because like most Pilsners, or lagers, sorry. Well, it's a Pilsner. Well, and I can't get it out the top because I taped it too well.
Oh, the anticipation. It's like Christmas morning.
It ties perfectly into the thing in comics. This is an Old Bakery Super Pills, which is unbelievable.
Wow, 2 for Old Bakery today.
Yeah, and this is part of their hop series, which they do a lot of series. It's
not very hoppy.
It's a 5.5 ABV, 50 IBUs. I don't taste that. Dry hopped lager.
Taste a dry hop
Here's
at all.
their write-up. Zap. Super Pills is an all-malt, dry-hopped craft lager in a can. It's like a crisp, happy kapow to your taste buds. I like that write-up better than the stout we drink.
I feel like it was still written by a guy who's never read a comic.
They do say enjoy this with grilled corn and grilled pork chops, which may be the oddest pairing that I've ever read, other than Trivial Pursuit. Corn?
Who the
really?
fuck... All right, does anybody actually like corn?
Me and Missy love corn.
Oh, grilled corn, fried
Corn
corn.
on the cob,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's good stuff. I love some corn.
I smoke corn on the cob.
You just got that'd be.
And
good
they're an
too.
underrated band.
We
Turns
spread.
out,
We
what?
spread.
Get out of here. Corn is overrated.
We spread
I'm
garlic
gonna name
butter.
one corn song.
I'm taking year 2000 with
So-
me.
Adidas?
So what we do is, man, I love corn. I'm sorry, that
Get
was
the
in my
fuck out of here.
wheelhouse.
They do not hold up.
That was my wheelhouse.
Go back and listen to them now, and you're like,
I
It
do,
comes out in
Bender.
your poop. It's entertaining.
It's on my phone. Yeah, it's on my phone. And but no,
I don't know why you don't like corn. I mean, most of your jokes are kind of
corny.
corny.
He stretched for that one, but
you
still
hate
accurate.
what you know. You
Still
hate
accurate.
what you know.
I
Might
guess
as well
so.
call me Armstrong because that was a bit of a stretch.
Ouch. That's 2 stretches in one joke. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I was going to give it
Cancels
the
each
first one,
other
but
out.
the second one.
No, they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
He's back to 0.
2 wrongs made a right in this.
Even Steven.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, it's not a bad beer. That said, let's we're gonna do. So, like I'd mentioned earlier, this is buy 6 get 1 free. We're gonna do a bonus beer. We're gonna.
Damn, we got to come up with more time. How long is this fucking episode?
Oh, it's long. So what? It's got a guest.
Every
It's
time
okay.
we have It's Just Us, we go super long.
Yeah, but it's not just us. It's us and Jay.
Yeah, dudes, I mean.
Oh,
all
just dudes.
penises.
I'm entertaining. Come on.
No, I agree. We just get Chatty Cathy out here.
Tom said, he didn't know you. And he's already making fun of you. So
That
this
means
would
you're
be
one of us.
So Jay, as I open and pour, you give us the rundown on what you brought us here.
And thank you for bringing a beer. That was very nice of you.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's a frozen now. Oh,
left
we
it-
we
we
left it in there too long.
Too soon.
I'm gonna hold it tight while
You should
we
put it in the
So what
microwave.
would you have brought us? We
Hold
got
me
the tech-
closer, frozen
So-
beer.
Oh my god.
It is a session IPA I brewed.
We love those. Like
Yeah.
Founders All Day IPA, one of my favorite year-round produced
Yeah.
beers. By the way, Tuesday nights at the Founders Brewery, $7 pitchers of All Day IPA.
Nice.
That's cool. You can drink them all day
Yeah.
or all night.
I gave it a good run. I drank 12.
C plus on that one, Bender.
I gave 12 beers I had never had that they don't bottle. I drank 2 beers that I knew I was going to try, and then I drank a pitcher of All Day IPA. Hey, here's the bad part. I drove back to my hotel.
Yeah, you should not admit that on air.
Well, there
Don't
was
drink and drive,
limitations.
kids.
Yeah.
there was a ton of snow falling from the sky and on the road, and I thought, no one's pulling me over tonight.
Yeah.
They may pull me out of the ditch.
Yeah.
But
Should have drove backwards
oh
there.
wait, and I stopped at their craft beer cellar before I got home and had a couple more beers.
And you brought none of them home for us, you dick.
I did bring them, and we tried some.
Yeah, we did.
I don't
that.
remember.
Yeah,
I think.
you were drunk.
I'm just kidding.
So this would be also the segment. Since this is a bonus beer, we're also going to call this Throw It to Missy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Bender and say, what random shit, quick hits have you brought to the table?
Rock and roll
Gucci Goo?
is actually noise pollution.
What?
Yeah, that was my science segment.
Nice.
So there was a biologist. He is a huge AC/DC fan.
Yeah. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. That's just like a
So
fire.
here we go.
Oh, we're good now.
Says humans and their constant barrage of noise
Just
cause
the top.
all sorts of problems in the wildlife. But a research suggests noise pollution may do more impact to individual animals than we ever thought possible. So this guy was a huge AC/DC fan, and he was listening to the whatever album, Rock and Roll.
Rock and roll ain't noise pollution.
And
Rock and roll ain't
So
gonna die.
so he was curious on whether or not it actually did that or not, is noise pollution or not. So he set up this study where he used soybean plants and ladybugs.
It's weird. I did that in high school. We did music, Beethoven
No, no,
versus
no.
rock and roll.
To see if it grew plants.
See if it affected their growth over a
But
16-week
what he
period.
did instead was find out if music affected bugs attacking aphids that attack the plants.
Oh, okay. See,
So
Well,
his
wait a
study
minute.
found.
I mean, I think we can all say he's smarter than me. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
see if
yeah.
it
I mean, he's an
helped.
actual scientist.
Madonna did say that music makes the people
but
together.
So what he's found is
Yeah.
that
It's got nothing to do with
classic
plants.
classic British limericks or whatever, like the old school stuff,
Like
and
the
country
naughty ones?
music.
Wait, limericks?
You know, like the old
Like
old
a little
school.
jig, or
think
like
you're-
the naughty ones.
I
where
think
it's like,
you're misconstruing what limericks mean.
Those
Those are naughty poems.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Mrs.
yeah.
Harper lives
Sorry,
under
yeah,
a
yeah,
rock.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Then she bent down and
Like classical music
Okay,
and
let's call it classical music for the sake of
country
the story.
have zero effect on ladybugs.
Huh.
But hardcore AC/DC and rock and roll makes them not want to eat aphids, which makes all the plants wither and die slowly. So yes, rock and roll is actual noise
Now,
pollution.
you know what did have effect on ladybugs is Jonathan Brandis putting on a wig and scoring some goals.
Rest in peace, brother.
That might be your best joke of all time.
That's pretty good.
That's
I thought it was
okay.
kind of. It was the most random thing I read today, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
I like it. I like that. I like it led to Tom's.
Yeah,
Tom's
this
funny,
is
but
why I
that's
bring
his
this
best
stuff
joke.
up. Yeah.
What do you got? Anything you got, Jay?
I got two more topics, but they'd probably take way too much time.
We hit on them. We'll decide.
Your 3-concert bucket list.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Like
Tough.
we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Are they alive still?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to be alive still.
I can't do
alive
it.
still.
I gotta veto this because it's gonna take us too long to
Yes,
think
see.
and come
Why?
up with.
No,
We're at an
I
hour
like it. No,
40.
we're doing this.
Alright.
We'll come back.
We cannot
we'll come
talk
back.
about it though.
Okay,
Think
I got
about
it.
All right, let's go.
All right, for me, it would be. This kind of shows how old I am, but I think I'm young at heart. I would love to. I've always wanted to see Huey Lewis in the news. I think that would have been.
Not gonna happen.
Why not?
He can't sing.
Is he done?
He can't hear anymore his own voice.
he
Therefore,
officially
I
done?
said we're not allowed to talk about it.
so he can't do it. He's
Still
All
talking
right,
about
fine.
it.
I've never seen Pearl Jam.
But no, you can do it because he's gonna try to come back. But
It's
he
a
is very
fantasy.
much-
It doesn't matter.
And
It's
he's
just a
alive.
fantasy.
Pearl Jam, and then the 3 surviving members of Led Zeppelin. That would be mine.
Good one. I'm gonna go with you on the Led Zeppelin. I in fact have seen Pearl Jam and they're awesome. I have seen this group, but I'm still going to put it on my bucket list because I somehow hope that the Beastie Boys give one last concert farewell. It's my favorite band of all time. And then the last one, I suppose. Bender, you go, and I'm going to come up with my
I
last
think I'm
one.
gonna go Rolling Stones. Just because they've been
Iconic.
around forever.
Iconic.
I kind of want to see Phil Collins.
I guess not bad. Not a
Wow.
bad musician.
I like that.
I'm going to piggyback yours, and I'm going to say I've never seen Peter Gabriel, and I love Peter Gabriel. I love
Yeah?
Peter Gabriel. That's three. That's the three ones I'd like to do.
And then I think honestly, I like rap, but whatever. I probably Garth Brooks.
Oh, he's good.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's awesome. I've seen him twice.
I just think like
and I'm not even a big country fan.
I'm
That's
not a
a
huge
show.
country. Like I like country, and the best concert I'm not a huge fan, but the best concert I've ever been to, like that drew the whole crowd in together, and like everybody was fucking loving it, was like Brooks and Dunn.
They're
Like-
good too. They're fun. What about you?
All right, mine go everywhere. So,
All right.
Okay.
so Pearl Jam's on my list.
Oh, you're awesome.
Nice.
So yeah,
Very expensive now.
yeah. And then have you heard of 4 Year Strong? Kind of
No.
a punk band, a little bit heavier.
I like punk. but
See, I
no.
was thinking like big venues, but
You're a big.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No,
Bender's a big venue.
I was thinking like big names. That's
Yeah,
cool
no.
though. I wish I would have thought that though.
See, I asked this on our podcast a few years ago, and then I wasn't even on the episode and didn't get to talk about it.
Oh.
So, and at the time it was Blink
I'm big-
182,
Oh yeah, they're good. I've seen
and then
them.
I saw them, and then a couple years, I guess earlier this year when they announced the Warped Tour was
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
I went back and looked at the first one because I was at it. Mm-hmm. Blink-182 played it, and I saw them.
Oh, so
and that
you
was before I
picked them
knew them. That was like 1996.
Wow, that's cool.
So I got into
when they
them a
were
year
just
later.
Blink.
Wow.
They didn't even go by 182
Yeah.
at the time, yeah.
So, and then the third one is Deltron 2020.
I've heard that.
So
That's Dave Grohl, right?
No.
No, I'm thinking of
it's hip hop. It's Del the
Check them
Funky
out.
Homo Sapien.
Oh, I
know
love
you're
Del.
talking about, yeah.
And then Danny Automator.
Danny Automator from the Gorillas.
Yeah, and he was. No, Deltron did the stuff. Or
Danny Automator.
Del did the Gorilla stuff.
No.
Dan the Automator was from Handsome Boy Modeling School.
No, Dan the Automator is the guy that created
Dan the
Gorillas.
Automator, rapper
Yeah.
Del the Funky Homo Sapien,
Yeah.
and DJ Kid Koala.
No,
Hey.
but Dan the Automator is the guy that created the
No,
Gorillas.
that isn't Damien Albarn from
Yeah.
Blur.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Keep
All right.
going. That's good.
So yeah, those are my three.
Cool.
That's a good one. I dig it. I like the Gorillas for one.
I love the Gorillas.
Oh yeah, they were created. Gosh darn it, you were right. But he was a part of the early. God darn it! All right, well you win. You win this round.
Hey, by the way,
touche,
this
salesman.
is a solid beer.
All right, let's
Going back to
that's a good one. We're Bender and I more big hip hop fans, and I love. So Del the Funky Homo Sapien, that's my breadbasket. Them and Tribe Called Quest and those guys. That's why I like guys like Logic now, although his newest album, not as much, it's more mainstream. But
It's okay.
I like Run the Jewels because they're kind of
Run the
old
Jewels
school
is
style
awesome.
hip hop.
Yeah.
They're that hip hop that one of my Murs and Slug when they did Felt, that was like I Shot a Warhol, that stuff. That's like, if you've never heard that, that's awesome.
So find the first Deltron album. It's I
look
think
it
it's
up
from
tomorrow.
2003.
I'm gonna go ahead and download them on Amazon.
I got vinyl of it.
Oh, see, I've got my vinyl collection is regrowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good stuff. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
And then look at the Beatniks. They were from the 90s.
Oh, I know who the Beatniks
Yeah.
are. Yeah, the Beatniks were great.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this beer real quick. Oh no! Throw it to Tom. Tom, what you got?
I think we've covered everything I wanted to talk about tonight.
All right, well then we'll go
He
straight.
started
to,
with the blues, so he's got nothing to end with.
We'll go straight to me. 2 TV shows coming out for the couldn't be more polar opposites for me. The Purge new TV show comes out in September, and I'm excited about that. For
Like
whatever
the Purge over the movies?
for whatever reason, I love those movies.
Yeah, that
Never
could work.
watched one.
I love the idea. Oh, they're great, and they made what's his name Crossbones, Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo. They made him a star again. And then one that I'm 100% not on board with, the Snowpiercer show that's coming out from the movie.
Is it about the train that, like...
You guys have all seen the movie, right?
No, I've
I
never
did
seen
not
it.
care for it.
I've had it recommended to me. I've never seen it. It's based off an Oni comic, right?
And it's a good movie,
Yeah.
but the story can literally go nowhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And-
literally crash in a mountain and they're gonna die.
Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to die.
They're all gonna die.
Well,
It's got Chris Evans, right?
Yeah, and he's great in it.
And
It's
it's
okay.
Greg Rookabook.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so here's
Tilda Swanson.
Tilda Swanson, Swinton.
She's pretty good.
Isn't it? Is it Swanson or is it
Swanson.
Swanson? Anyway, and John Hurt. Anyway, the problem I have with the movie is because when the movie came out, there was this big deal about everybody's favorite serial rapist, Harvey Weinstein, wanted to cut 20 minutes out because he felt that it was too much for Americans. Now, there was a story written that Americans were too dumb to enjoy it. I've seen the Korean version. I even had an argument with my friend Ross over this. It's not better. It's not worse. It's the same fucking movie. It doesn't change the depth or complexity of the movie. Everybody was like, oh, you got to see the real version. No, the real version, it's the same movie. Guy's at the back of a train, which is the poor part, tries to get to the front, which is the rich part. And there's a plot twist.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
thought that was okay, but I hated the ending.
But there's not a series there. That's a dumb idea. That's one of my bitches. So
No, I agree with you.
the other thing I've got is another complaint about, and
What if the train crashes?
I used to make fun. It did in the movie, so where are they going to go in the series? So I was against this guy for a long time because my wife thinks he's dreamy. Zac Efron. I don't know if you guys are familiar
When's
with
he
him.
getting into a
He's
superhero movie?
He's got abs for days, but he's great. Once he started making more raunchy comedies,
you
I'm
could-
on board with him.
You could wash your clothes on that
You
guy's
could,
stomach.
man. Just keep going. But
Shred your underwear on
so
him.
I don't know if you guys saw his Instagram post with dreads.
No.
So he did an Instagram post, and it said, "Wearing dreads today just because."
How do you just do them for one day?
You can get that dry stuff to put in there to make it dread. The interwebs exploded on him for cultural appropriation.
Of course they did.
They said
People are the worst.
you can't. Here's what they said. You can't do something like this just because. You have to realize what you're doing. Hey, by the way, if you look up the history of dreads, don't come from Rastafarians and stuff. It comes from poor people. White poor people started dreads. Those people did too. It was a coincidence that they all had dreads because they were all poor. And
well, they can't do it because he's not poor then.
But you're right. You're right. You know what? Status appropriation is what it is. It's not racial appropriation.
Done.
Or culture.
No need to argue about it.
What happens when a girl on spring break posts cornrows?
Oh, they can't do that anymore.
No.
Now we're to the point.
That one girl couldn't wear a Asian-inspired dress to prom.
Why can't people just fucking be people, man?
That's the reason that we have Donald Trump as a president.
To his credit, he didn't even really... He did engage, but he just kind of blew it off with jokes. Good for him.
Same thing. Justin Timberlake got heat this week because
for getting engaged and taking that good meat off the market for the
Justin
girls.
Timberlake?
Oh, no, Justin Bieber did.
No. Justin Timberlake got heat this week because they don't show their son's face on the internet or for whatever, fine. That's, I agree with it.
Because clearly his son's an alien.
Yeah, but his kids got long hair, but he posted a bunch of pictures of him and his wife and them together, but it's all pictures of his son from the side or the back or whatever, and everybody, like, right away, people are like, cut your son's hair, blah, blah, blah. Just, why do you care?
People are the worst.
They really are. And it's getting worse. It might get better. I don't know.
Justin Timberlake, if I was just turn off the internet for a day.
Oh, that was my last thing. Hey,
White people.
Uh-oh.
It's coming out to you, white people.
And you are white. You're the whitest person on the show.
Hey, white people. At your community pools, just let the black person swim.
Yeah.
Just let the
and
black
just keep getting
swim.
fired over it.
Did I miss something?
Yeah,
There's been like 3 incidences of white people like going all ballistic on black people trying to swim in their community pool.
So I grew up in southeast Missouri, Charleston to be exact. It's a very high population of black people. I can honestly tell you that there could be a group of white people that are just looking out for black people because as a whole, black people can't swim.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I'm over that. I'm never going to be a politician if I stay on
Our
this
good
fucking
friend
show.
Rachel has come down, and I think that
Time
means
to go.
Not only do we have
Coming to
Lou
an
in
end.
studio, but we have Rachel. So let's talk about this beer, and then we'll play the music. So what do you got for this beer?
I'm going to give it a good solid 4.5. It's very
Whoa,
good.
that's
Especially for a home brew, man. That's good.
I feel like that's sucking up.
No. Did you, I did want to know, do you, how do you carbonate?
You still bottling?
Yeah, it's bottling.
Because he brought it in a bottle.
Bold move.
But I mean, like,
asking
you're not
questions
doing
like
like
this.
are you doing like the tablets? Or
No,
like
the tablets
mixture,
suck.
or-
No, priming sugar.
Yeah,
Priming
you can't do
sugar?
the tablets.
That's very good for a priming sugar. It's
Have
better
you-
than yours.
That hurts.
I don't know.
That hurt.
That was on purpose.
For one, I know you in fact enjoyed the chocolate stout I did and the porter. But no, the priming tablets are just they're too much.
Yeah, I've never used
They
them.
make soda.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to give it a 3.5. I would say it's the second best beer of the night. It was a lot better than a lot of the other ones. I really still like that ginger one just because it's so unique. But as far as everything else goes,
This is a really drinkable, nice.
That's very smooth.
Have
That's what I'm
multiple
saying.
ones.
I'll tell you this: for an IPA, you have the you've done a good
It's all the
job.
basic elements are there.
Well, no, you cleared up as a home brewer. You cleared it up as much as you could, which it looks like. It looks. I mean, it's still a hint of a New England style IPA, but it's clearer than your average homebrewed IPA. I think it has a much more IPA finish because I think it's real hard to do L's and IPAs and have them be distinct.
Yeah.
So I think it's enough. So I'd go with 3.5 on it too. I think it's a solid beer. I think it's an IPA that I would buy.
Yeah.
I would drink.
I would too.
I took it to Exit 6, and they reviewed it on the Brews Room.
What all the Brews Room guys did, Kyle and Jeff and all those guys.
Yeah, I know Jeff from going in there, and he's reviewed stuff. And they said the only thing they wanted a little bit sweeter, so I'm going to try brewing it again with a different oat in it.
Oh my gosh, we're getting completely
Getting overrun by children now.
So I guess that's gonna. Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell JJ, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for causing us to run double. And Tom, go ahead and lead it out. 'Cause
Hey.
there's no room for saying bye.
Let's go, Blue!